Stop trying to visit with me, Sam.
Sorry, yeah, we just talked for we are doing 2 podcasts in a night.
That's the truth.
We just caught up about television for 15 minutes.
And we already recorded for what, an hour and a half?
Yeah,
today?
and we talked before that too. And then I recorded a guest spot.
Uh-huh.
And then we talked about our lives and stuff.
I didn't like it.
It's like we're friends, which I
don't like talking when we're not recording. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Well, the good news is, or perhaps the bad news, is that I'm actually always recording, and I'm not. This is not a joke. The minute that our Skype call starts, like the app that I use starts recording. And then we start recording like in GarageBand, like sort of properly with our mics. But there exists like for every single thing that we've joked about, like, hey, did we delete that? Chuckle. That actually is all there.
You have it. So this project is just a long blackmail.
Dude, I have receipts. People are going to know exactly who your favorite character on Succession is. And if that gets out, it could doom you forever as a critic.
Yeah, because my favorite character is the new wife.
Right, yeah.
and everyone's like, no, that's the most poorly sketched out character of the entire show.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, she rocks ass. Wow. She's my favorite.
This is so this is an interesting sort of like crisis management technique you're doing where you're getting out in front of the news.
Yeah. We haven't, unfortunately, Sam, I don't mean to put you on blast here. I would never intentionally do that on the pod. But
never happened.
I don't love talking about TV with you because I feel like you're too patient of a viewer and you take too long to get around to things.
Right. Okay. So it's like not interesting to you to talk to me about something because I'm only halfway through the show and
you're only halfway through Succession and we've literally watched the entire series twice at this point.
Right. Okay.
And me and other members of the fam today, we're talking about Escape at Dannemora.
Oh, yeah, which like I'm not going to get to till I finish Succession, and that's going to take months. I can't say it
without doing an Irish accent.
Is it Irish?
No, it's not at all. But like, what kind of town is called Dannemora?
I guess an Irish town. Also, that's your Irish accent?
No, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just kind of all over the place. That's but fine, Escape at Dannemora is a really good show, and it gets the Josie look of approval.
It's a glance. It gets a knowing glance. This is like generally my problem with television in whatever age that we're in right now, the platinum age of TV. If you don't watch something immediately, there's no fucking point. Like, what was the big show that was it was the wine and just like hanging out like in Malibu or whatever? I feel like it had Nicole Kidman in it.
You're talking about Hoda and Kathy Lee,
right.
I believe.
Sorry,
their talk show, the Today Show.
Right, the Today Show. Yeah, thank you. Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies. Yeah.
Same with Sharp Objects. Right, these shows that for a second everyone that I know seems to be talking about, and then like a month later, when I think, hey, maybe I should watch this, there's no point because when I try to talk to you about it, you then put me on blast on the pod and say that you hate talking to me about it when we literally just spent 15 minutes talking about it.
It's because I'm too kind and I don't want to give you any spoilers by accident. So then I immediately go into panic mode and my brain starts freaking out and like sparks are flying in there because I don't want to accidentally tell you what happens on Succession.
Well, thank you.
I don't want to tell you who has a suck session on there.
Oh, shit.
Just kidding. That doesn't happen.
Oh, okay.
But
that's a good joke.
What was I going to say?
When they're finally, that scene like does happen in season 2 or something, you're going to be like so overjoyed, I'm sure, to be able to tweet that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're probably going to put that in the show for that reason. But no, the thing for me is that like, I hate so many things that I don't have to finish them usually. Like Sharp Objects, I stopped after an episode and a half because it looked like that movie Mordecai. It like had this weird like look to it that it was like a 2005 like zany movie.
Right.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Sharp Objects had a scene that they were playing up to be serious, but someone's blouse matched the wallpaper like Garden State style. So yeah, that show's trash.
Do you think Zach Braff would do the pod now that he has like a TV show about podcasts?
I think that's long been canceled, but I think we should get a TV show about our podcast.
I think so. Like an ABC, like real, like family friendly kind of Wednesday night prime time. Just two guys
Who would
talking
you want
about
to play?
Blink-182.
Who would you want to play yourself?
Oh man,
Apparently, you look like I saw on the Facebook group. You look like a College Humor guy.
yeah. Is
that good?
I don't
That
know.
doesn't
I
seem good.
exclusively get told that I look like other white guys with glasses and like a little bit of stubble. And very rarely do I think I look anything like them.
Yeah.
I would like to be played by, I think, like
Also, usually, I think in general, usually telling someone that they look like someone else is probably not a nice thing to do.
it's true.
Like,
No one
matter
ever
what it
gets told
is.
that even like people I know that are attractive. I've been around people who are like, you kind of look like so and so, and you're like, why the fuck are you saying that to them?
Yeah.
But it's like a weird human compulsion that when your brain makes that connection, I think I do it. Like I feel compelled to be like, you look like a famous person. Who do people
I
tell
used to
you
always
that
get
you
told
look like?
in high school of all places when I was much younger and didn't have such tired crow's feet sunken in eyes. My freshest faced phase, I was told that I looked like Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall.
He's handsome. He's a leading man.
Not really. Not really. He's like the more forgettable guy from that cult Canadian sketch comedy troupe.
He was on
You're like,
news radio with Joe Rogan.
That is true. Well, maybe that explains it. But yeah, that's the main one. And then one time when I was an extra on a TV show in Vancouver.
What?
This show called Angels in America.
Wow.
I sat right behind Luke from Gilmore Girls. I'm in one of the scenes there.
God.
This guy, I think I already said this on here, but a guy told me I look like the kid from Superbad, and I was like, "Oh, Michael Cera," and he's like, "No." So I was like, "All right." And that's great though.
So he meant McLovin.
He must have, yeah. But look, enough about this. Enough about that. I want to talk to you about something before we get into the episode.
Yeah, man. Of course. Anytime. What's on your mind?
Sam, you've had your chance to do a plug for a friend's brand as we sort of try to test the waters of to see what would happen if we plug things on here. This is not a paid endorsement, but I do want to bring up my friend's store here in Calgary, but you can order online. It's a really, really cool clothing store, very bougie. Whenever I'm getting like birthday
is
or
this
Christmas
Hot Topic?
money,
You've been talking about wanting to get Hot Topic.
it's
to
not.
sponsor
This
the
is
pod.
actually much fancier. This is the exact opposite of Hot Topic.
Zoomies.
The store is called North American Quality Purveyors. Okay. It's abbreviated to NAQP, which is what they call it, but I can just call it NACPA because I'm annoying like that.
Right.
But they sell
That's
like,
a fine name. I mean, it's a fancy name.
yeah,
It sounds.
It is. It's a fancy store. They sell like very nice, high end garments for men, that are like you can tell have been like hand stitched by like a man with a beard somewhere.
So it's like some Champagne Sammy kind of attire.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It's like if Champagne Sammy was like trying to be down to earth, he'd go here.
Oh,
and
okay.
just like buy an outfit
For a
like,
weekend at the cabin kind
yeah,
of thing.
Yeah, it's like actors on the weekend clothes.
Cool. Cool.
So it's like super fancy, but I love the clothes. My good friend Carl, who listens to the pod, he works there along with our friend Kyle, who owns the shop. Both of their names are actually Kyle, but Kyle's nickname is Carl. So that's all.
Sorry,
that's all
Kyle,
besides the point.
Kyle's nickname is Carl.
Yeah, that is a true statement.
Cool.
I always forget that his name is actually Kyle, to be honest. But so I had a little bit of Christmas funds the last couple weeks, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself to some new jeans. And so I literally, this is true. This is not a joke. I went there and I bought some new jeans. They're the NAQP collaboration with this very cool brand in New York called Left Field. Mm-hmm. And they're great jeans. I fucking love these jeans. Now, at NAQP...
Oh my God.
They do... at NAQP, they do alterations.
Yeah.
They do a little bit of tailoring and stuff. And so I take these jeans home. I'm wearing these jeans in the last few weeks since Christmas time, walking around the house, just like normal shit. But I notice whenever I'm wearing these jeans, I can pick things up that are like twice my body weight as I'm walking around. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I tried it with different jeans. I couldn't do it. I was the same weak man as always. So I call up Kyle. I call up Carl. I'm like, what's the deal with these jeans? I can carry twice my body weight. And they said, oh, it's because we did the ant hem.
Jesus fucking Christ. That's good, man. That was really good.
Oh. Most of that is true, other than the part about the ant ham.
I wasn't sure it was the ant thing was that really threw me.
I said that because I've seen Sarah for about 10 minutes today because I've just been talking to you the whole time.
Yeah, just catching up.
In those 10 minutes, I tested that joke on her, and I swear to God, her face almost looked solemn, like she was at a funeral. And she said to me, "Please don't say that pun on the pod," with absolutely no like it was seriously like a darkness had taken over her. Right. She didn't, and then I laughed, and she didn't laugh.
Well, hopefully when we have some downtime next week, you can take the 4 hours that we were going to talk about old episodes of Succession and try to repair your relationship with your wife.
Or just go to NAQP and get more ant hams on all my clothes so I can be a strong man.
So, Anthem by Blink-182 is the song we're talking about this week on Blink-155. The
internet's worst podcast.
Yeah, but definitely the best. Yeah, no, it's not even the best at that. It's fine. The podcast is fine. Everything's fine. Josiah, well... What are your thoughts on this?
I feel actually a little
song?
bit embarrassed for saying that out loud, to be honest.
It was good.
It was pretty bad.
No, it was very good. But let's move past it.
I think we shouldn't move past it because I was meaning to Google, is it actually true twice the body weight, or did I get the amounts wrong? How could we improve this bit for me to do it?
You want to make sure it's scientifically accurate, like a human centipede thing. 100% medically accurate. All the puns on Blink-155. Ant weight carry. An ant. Oh, this is about how much ants weigh. Oh my God, Josiah. An ant can carry 10 to 50 times its body weight.
So, well, they must have had the hem done on all of their cuffs, and
those ants are well hemmed.
Oh, I hate myself. Anthem by Blink-182.
Okay, what's
the closing track of their eponymous album? And eponymous is a word that music writers just use. No one knows what it means. And you just say it.
Yeah, it's true. Blink have many eponymous albums. This is one of them. What's your feeling on this song?
Eponema of the state. When I first got this CD, I think we've talked about this a lot because the first episode was about this goddamn album.
Yeah, but we've had a lot of opportunities.
I was of the opinion that they were like kind of sellouts at this point and like too slick, slowing down too much. And so I never really like loved a lot of the songs that I love now. But by the time I got to this one, I was very pumped that there was the pop punk drums in it. So I've always liked it simply because it has pop punk drums. Listening to it now, I still think it's really awesome. And I've learned today that a lot of people don't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Show yourselves, cowards.
I mean, they have, and we'll talk about them in a moment.
Well, good. Thank you I appreciate your candor, cowards. I feel sort of similarly, only in the sense that like because I didn't love this record out of the gate. I feel like I probably lost steam by the time I got to this song, and it was only like kind of as I grew more mature that I came to sort of fully appreciate this song. And now when I listen to it, I'm flabbergasted that I didn't like immediately lose my shit for it, because there's like so much of what I love about this band happening in this song, and like 30 different parts in a pretty compact running time.
Yeah. Although I actually have always thought that it felt long.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked down, there was a point where like we listened to the song before we record, and I was like, oh, I just got to listen to it. And I looked, I was like, has it been 10 minutes? But it just sort of, it takes you to a lot of different places. Like, I'm not bored by it, but it feels long, which usually is a critique.
But that is also why it's kind of a classic last song.
Yeah, totally. It feels like a last song, absolutely. It like closes the album in a sort of appropriate fashion. But
so...
No, go ahead, please.
No, please. I do think we should always record 2 episodes in a row.
The second
one is always like we have fun with it. Let's have some fun with it.
Totally. Like I don't know if we're gonna finish, but like I'm still like enjoying myself, so we might as well just go till we fall asleep. This song has always struck me as like a fucking like mess lyrically, and that I think might have been part of what initially kept me away from it, and now is also part of what I love about it. Like,
yeah, I feel like even when I was like stupid or maybe smarter, I don't know, but when I was like younger and didn't,
when you were different, I mean, who's to say?
When I didn't know about like all the things you're supposed to know about when you talk about stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Probably
we should not record 2 episodes in a day.
I think even back then I was like, slave drive song? This seems a little like just to me that's the kind of lyric that you wouldn't put out today, of like comparing being told to clean your room or whatever to like an actual slave drive song.
Yeah, that that part doesn't bother me as much as the she laid me. Like that's just always kind of got stuck in my craw a little bit, as like, and we've said this before, like sometimes it does feel like Blink like throws in like the most unnecessary word, and you're just like, who did this? Is this like some thesaurus shit? Like, why the fuck did you use this phrase this way? And I gotta say, but good things come to those who wait, 'cause she laid me is like so bad that I now love it, but at the time I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, fair.
But evidently, like the multiple references to slavery, like just went right over my head.
Yeah, like me too for the most part, but I remember just always feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the song. And then looking at it now, I'm like, I just feel like there's got to be a better way to describe your parents and not letting you leave your home other than comparing your teen life to slavery. And
also, like, I don't necessarily buy. I'm looking at the Genius page for it right now. I feel like this song is more A, B, like C or whatever than like verse chorus, which is what they have structured it as, like verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 1, chorus 2, which like,
yeah, that's kind of weird.
If you are working under the assumption that there are effectively 2 choruses in the song and they both repeat numerous times, in both choruses there are references to your mom and your dad telling you what to do as being akin to slavery.
Yeah,
like they double down on it. And mom and dad possess the key, instant slavery. And don't need a mom dad slave drive song. Oh man, this is bad. This is not okay.
It's weird, right?
This is fuck.
I'm trying to think of like what big movie about slavery would have just come out in 1998 that would have really.
Ooh, when was Amistad?
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
Amistad
one.
is 1997.
So there you go. He watched it and he was like, damn, this reminds me so much of when I was in Poway, California.
I mean, yeah, like truly, the ship is in many ways like my bedroom. Where
and I think, well, okay, to me saying
this
mom
is
and dad
bad.
possess the key,
I already regret all of that.
Mom and dad possess the key. Instant slavery is like, okay, look, back then we all said things like, oh, you're making me slave away on my homework or whatever. Like it was tossed around willy-nilly. You didn't really think about the implications of it. So to me, that line is like, yeah, it's probably just slang. But then to actually say slave drive song, like they're singing like Amazing Grace while chained up on a boat or something is like fucking insane. Like the term slave drive song is directly
yeah, it's not
slavery.
You can't just say like, oh, like slavery. I just mean like, indentured servant. Like I just mean the idea of someone, like just being made to work for no, whatever it is. It's there have been, it's just a term, which is, not, but it's defensible on the grounds that you have described. But then being like, just to make it really fucking clear, I'm talking about the kind of slavery where people like sang, that slavery. And you're like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw Amistad too. It's fucking sick.
I like how I like how this fun pop punk song is inspired by slavery, and then the other one that we just did that's like really dark and brooding and about slitting throats and death is inspired by a guy being hit with a hose.
Yeah, like this is not where I thought this was going. Like I listened to the song.
They need a spreadsheet to keep track of all their metaphors to know which ones are the severe ones.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I appreciate that in terms of like, they're subverting your expectation where they're like, oh, fun pop punk beat. Yeah, bet you weren't thinking about, America's founding sin, you fuck.
Oh, it's so insane. And that's not even like the worst lyrics of the song. So I love the lyrics still because they're so stupid. Like they're so incredibly dumb. I love that he in I guess chorus 1 according to Genius, he says no need explain the plan, no need to even bother. Like that's just like he's just talking in like sentence fragments. And I actually was reminded while I was reading this, so that part's insane and makes you feel like your brain's breaking. And then everyone hates this song because he sings "Oi time bomb." But I think "I time bomb" is kind of sick.
Yeah, no, that part of the song is actually really good. I do think that repeating "time bomb" so much in like a pop punk song is risky because as a phrase or as a object, "time bomb" is sort of owned somewhat prominently by another pop punk band.
Are you referring to
Good Charlotte? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I think isn't Tim Armstrong's solo thing called like Tim Time Bomb or something?
Time Bomb's like a huge Rancid song. I thought you were pausing to like see if you could come up with a funnier joke.
No, right. I remember the song now, but I just was like, I spaced. I was actually this morning thinking I want to listen to more Rancid this year.
You should. I'll be honest. Like Rancid was not a band that like I grew up with a tremendous attachment to, but that was like one of Ashley's like middle school bands. Like when I loved Blink, like she loved Rancid. And so I've been like 2 years ago, I saw Rancid play and like they're fucking great. And it's just
they're so sick.
It's just like a greatest hits collection. Like every song.
I've seen Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards play before, but never the Big R.
Dude, the Big R is big, man.
I had "And Out Come the Wolves" on CD that I got from. I was visiting a family friend in Winnipeg who's like my dad's friend from growing up, and we went to his church for some reason when church wasn't on. It was just there. And there was like in the youth group room, they had done a thing where people were giving up their like non-Christian CDs, I guess, to like to focus on the right things in life. So they had like made a display in the youth room with all these CDs on the wall, and I like took the Rancid one.
Yo, that's so sick. Wait, they just like this is sort of similar to the problem that they have at Pearson right now. Have we talked about the free weed bin at like Toronto's airport?
No.
Oh yeah, I thought maybe this was a story I'd already told. But I mean, this was like kind of a news thing, and I think it was like big on Reddit. But because we now have legal cannabis, recreational cannabis, federally in Canada.
We do?
Yeah, bro. It's sick. Is that? I guess you don't drink. I know you don't smoke weed, but like.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So. As you're flying, there are like signs now that remind you, like, if you're flying internationally, cannabis probably isn't legal, you fucking idiot. And so they have bins for just in the same way that you would like be like, oh shit, I have a water bottle on me. You can't bring liquids on the plane. You can't bring cannabis into America, so there's bins for it. But they're not like sealed bins. They're just like tubs full of weed. And people were like, yo, Pearson is just littered with free weed bins. And the airport had to issue an official statement saying like, it's not a free weed bin. It's for disposal purposes only. But basically so by sort of making it so.
Wait, what do they do with all the weed?
Dude, I think people just take it.
What a world!
What a world! So anyway,
But anyways, I want to get back to the. I think the "I time bomb" part is crazy, and cool. And I think in general, did you ever listen to No Age very much?
Not a ton.
I think it's pretty obvious that they're a very me me wave band.
I had like friends that were into them, and so like I've seen No Age play like a handful of times just because I was hanging.
No Age was like probably. I feel like No Age is like one of the last new bands that I truly have loved in my life, which is kind of sad, but also true. But I feel like other than like the weird slavery stuff, I feel like these could be No Age lyrics because they're so like look at the sentence fragments of this song from Nouns called Sleeper Hold. I'm just going to play a little bit of it because I was reminded of this song today.
Yeah, this is the same. This is the same song.
Oh, I love No Age. But anyways, yeah, these lyrics are like, with passion he choose, why don't you scream? With passion it's cold and nice to try. With passion he choose the one he's like. It's like, I love these lyrics because it's like, you kind of get what they're saying, but it's like, it feels like they've just written things on pieces of paper.
No, it feels like they've written it. That's the thing.
It does feel like they've written it. Absolutely. So I feel like this, with my generous read of it, where I eliminate the problematic making light of actual slavery.
Yeah, we are going to have to move past that for sure.
Yeah. So in that sense, I read it as kind of a No Age pop punk song.
Cool. Sorry, I just want to say I think it's important that we gave ourselves as white Canadians permission to move past the slavery reference.
Well, you did. Yeah. I mean, I would stay there forever.
Right. Just, if you're listening to this and you think that's fucked up, we know. I agree.
So Tom did explain to us what the song Anthem is about in the pamphlet for their tour.
Hell yes, I love this pamphlet.
Release. I think this is not the Take Off Your Pants one that had all the ads though. I don't think, because I wish there was. Oh, does this link to something? No, it links to song meetings. I wish I could see the layout. I wish I had these. Aren't these things always like $40 also? Yeah,
but like maybe there's some on eBay or maybe
But like, when are you ever going to a concert and like, oh, I want to buy a book of this, and it's like the cost of a coffee table book?
Yeah, I don't know. When you're a kid, when's your birthday, Josiah?
I wish I was carrying a Taschen book with me tonight around this concert.
Yeah,
my birthday's in August, bro.
Well, okay, so it's 8 months for people to scrimp and save and buy you a vintage Enema Tour booklet.
Buy me more stuff. Like, why do I feel like I need to make an Amazon wish list? I think everyone should be buying me things.
You should definitely make an Amazon wish list. It's like you're a cam boy now.
I basically am. Here's what Tom DeLonge said. Anthem is a song I wrote about having a party at your house, your parents coming home and finding out. I did that to my friend one time. I wanted my band to play in high school at my friend's house. His parents left only until midnight, but I still told the whole school that we were playing there. Thousands of people showed up, and then they all had to leave, and we had to clean up the place before the parents came back at 12. It was so funny. The whole place chipped in with the cleanup, but the cops showed up, and his parents found out that way. So he ended up getting into a lot of trouble. I couldn't believe that I invited all those people over, and his parents were only away until midnight. The stereo was broken. There was a fight. There was blood everywhere. It was so funny.
Jesus Christ. It's the most stirring account I've ever heard of slavery. It's sometimes hard to really imagine, just what that experience was like for people. And so thank you, Tom, for...
The thing that sent me on a spiral of searching for Blink-182 old photos today is click the first annotation on Genius. It really does look like they're actually playing a house show.
Oh my God.
But I can't find any details, but did Blink-182 play a house show?
Maybe, because there's like the kind of column, like what would be like a fireplace, right? Like kind of behind Mark, like the sort of exposed brick column going up. Like it full on looks like a house.
And again, something that makes Tom seem like either a poser or like these lyrics have gone through Google Translate 3 times is that he's calling it a home show instead of a house show.
This photo is sick though, because like there is like definitely a stage that they're on, and there's like, clearly the big guy in the scene who's doing the kind of like I guess sort of like bouncer front of stage, like throw people back in kind of thing. And he's got like a jersey on, like it's so of a time, like it's so sick.
So good. He kind of looks like he's in FSU or something. I love it.
Yeah, full on. Like, do not light a cig around this man. Like, Sigmark is in trouble around this guy.
I mean, I don't really believe Tom's story that thousands of people showed up to when he put on the house show at his friend's house. But we did once when we were on tour with our band Grown Ups before prenup. We were on tour across Canada, and this dude put on a house show for us in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia, home of the Anne Marie Museum.
Wow.
Anne Marie. I said Anne Marie. Please Anne Murray.
Show some respect for the national treasure.
Yeah,
that we all know and
so
love.
She's in your. She. You must have her on Slack, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. She's mixing it up. She posts the funniest gifs.
So we played this house show, and it was like in a very, very like it wasn't like a punk house. It was like so suburban, and there was tons of kids there because it was like no one really knew who we were, but we were playing with the band Gobble Gobble that became Born Gold, and then Cecil Freena from Edmonton. He's like basically this is the band that Purity Ring was born out of.
Yeah.
So we were playing with them, and so they had a huge draw, and like they brought their own sound system, so it was fucking crazy loud. The cops did come while they were playing, but then they were like, "Oh, this is so sick, it's no problem." So it was like a teen movie house show.
Wait, the cops were like,
house.
"Sorry, we didn't realize you were sick. It's fine."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it was all these like people from. Like whatever people in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia are into, I don't really know. It was just kind of like a group of people that didn't seem particularly cool, but also didn't seem, they're just like very down to earth, nice people. It was just kind of the perfect house show.
It's amazing.
And then then the dude who put it on was like, "Oh, you guys can sleep here tonight. It's no problem." So we're like, "Sick. We'll sleep here." And then we'll go to, I think we were going to Halifax the next day. Or no, we must have been coming back west at this point.
I don't think anyone cares about that detail.
I mean, it's pretty important. But anyways, we slept in this like fucking crazy suburban house, and then at 8 a.m., we hear all this yelling and commotion, and the dude's parents came home from their weekend trip away early.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah. So like we wake up, there's all this pandemonium, and people are like filling bags with beer cans, and we just like ran, I think. Like we just left. I don't know. He was like, "You guys should just go. Just don't worry about it. Just leave." So we just left.
What the fuck?
Like really early. It was so out of a teen movie. So again, like something I do love about this is the romanticization, which is a word that I've just decided.
Yeah, man.
Of
home show culture.
Yeah. I mean, house shows are the kind of thing that make me feel very Sam up in my feelings about the magic of punk.
Totally, man. I get very I'm at my most insufferable when we play house shows because I inevitably deliver like a fucking monologue about how punk is actually quite sick and that like we don't have anything like this in Toronto because we don't. They're like once or twice there have been houses that have lasted like a year, but it's just like not the.
We played a house in Toronto on that same tour.
Yeah, like it's from time to time it happens, but it's just like it's never really been a core part of the culture here.
Yeah.
And so like when you go to, like Buffalo and you play some punk house that's been there and like gone through a few generations of punks and you're just like, oh, this is like really fucking cool. Like this is actually punk. Like this is a thing. And I'm inside of it. I'm inside of punk right now. and so you're kind of getting a taste of it. Like it's like that. It's awful.
I think this is so embarrassing to say. You know what? This is just my confession booth. But we recently, a few months ago, played a show in Calgary with Super Crush, which is Mark Palm from Go It Alone and a million other, like Vacant State, a million cool bands. But he has this like new twee band. It's so perfect for us to play with them. And I had been talking to Mark from before the show because like I always went to Go It Alone shows and I know all of his friends and everything, but I never really connected with him before. So I was talking to him about like Vancouver hardcore and stuff. And then when we played before a song, I just I get so nervous around cool hardcore people that I always make an ass of myself. And I said something like, "This song is dedicated to hardcore" or something. It was so embarrassing. It was seriously so humiliating, and no one responded. And I started the song and felt I'm turning red right now thinking about it. Oh. The worst thing about punk is when it makes you feel romantic about it, and then you say really embarrassing things.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, that's good, man. That's so.
Oh, and that only happened 3 months ago.
This is recent. This isn't a hand show. This is a prenup show.
It's the same age I am now. I still did something that embarrassing.
That's good. Well, you know what? Awful. I'm sure hardcore really appreciated it. So that's.
I was trying to be. I think I was in my mind. It was kind
funny?
of a funny thing to say. Yeah. But also, I couldn't Sometimes I don't even know if I'm being ironic or not. I don't know if you can tell.
Right, but it's definitely then hard for your audience.
Yeah, exactly.
To read between those lines.
Let's move on. Let's move along. This song also is on the lovely and wonderful pre-Enema of the State demo.
Oh shit! So, let's hear it.
It's very good.
I believe you.
Here we go.
Run out the back door, passed out on the floor. Third time, been hot twice. Forgive our neighbor Bob. I think he hurt the dog. When good things come to those who wait, 'cause she made me. And mom and dad possess the key. Instant slavery. Please explain the plan. There was no need to bother. I wish my brain was 21.
Oh my god!
I could have played the whole 4 minutes.
Fuck.
I also forgot just how sick that guitar riff is until today. That sort of in the regular version, it doesn't come in until later on in the song, but it's sort of like a guitar solo that sounds like the perfect Blink-182 riff that kind of encaps. If you wanted to describe Blink-182, you would just play that one riff, and it would describe the entire band.
You'd be like, oh, we could have just done that instead of 155 6-hour episodes.
Probably would have been a good idea.
It would have summarized what we were trying to get at.
When is lo-fi and sloppiness going to come back?
But you know what?
It's the real theme.
Listening to that really kind of reminds me why I didn't connect with the song to begin with, because that to me sounds like it could have been a Dude Ranch song. And even listening to it now, not even thinking that Enema sounds slick, because by contemporary standards it doesn't. I still kind of hate the way that it's produced. The effect on his voice is fucking weird, and I feel like the tempo's better in that version. The whole thing is just that's way better. That's really, really good.
Well, the Enema of the State demo is probably the best Blink-182 release, actually.
Yeah.
And I finally have found something that I can say that is irritating and pretentious enough to isolate everyone I might be talking to. So that's my new official statement.
Good.
Is my favorite Blink-182 album is the Enema of the State demo.
To have such a nuanced and truly alienating opinion about the band Blink-182 is what we've been leading to.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we only just realized that the riff would have done it.
Can you speak Spanish, Sam?
No hablo español.
Can you pretend,
Mi
at
amigo?
least?
Yeah, wasn't that good enough?
That was good. Well, I forgot to mention this earlier when we were talking about the slavery thing, because I
God.
can't let it go, because I
Yeah.
refuse. I'm not as comfortable with being a evil white man as you are, apparently. But no, what actually happened was I was is he referencing something when he says slave drive song? So I just Googled the phrase slave drive song, and then I found this on wordreference.com, and it's somebody trying to translate this song into Spanish, and they can't figure it out because of how weird the phrasing is.
Oh, wow.
So I want you to read it, though, because I'm definitely not.
Okay.
I've embarrassed myself enough this episode.
So it's, hey, I'm having some trouble to translate Anthem by Blink-182. It says, too bad you're wrong, don't need a mom, dad, slave drive song. I don't get it. Specifically, dad slave drive song. I don't even know how to start. So they've separated it as too bad you're wrong, don't need a mom. And then as a separate thought, dad slave drive
that's
song.
what it is.
So that's what's throwing them off. They don't get that it's not that mom, dad slave drive song is like better.
That's why the Spanish example ends with madre.
Yeah, so
madre.
So I would
and then
say
it begins with papa.
I would say Tresta estes acuivados, no ni esto una madre. So I don't need a mom. And then Papa en claviza canción de conductor. Like, I don't want my dad to like conduct me.
And then the reply says, I think they mean that you don't need parents to treat you like slaves. Maybe?
No, I think you're right. So that's what a Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, it's so good. So they basically never played this song live.
Yeah, that's the other reason why I think some of these songs just disappear. By the way, their translation translates back into Dad and Slaves driving song. So it's more of a sort of like jaunty,
So the dad might, in that case, perhaps owns the slaves, and he's driving them around, and that's the song. Sounds like.
That's also bad.
Either way, an incredibly dark song.
Yeah. So what were you saying? You were moving on, which I thought was good.
Actually, I'm gonna come back to the live stuff because we need to talk about. Maybe you're right that they didn't play it live and that's why it disappeared. But for some reason, and it kind of annoys me that there can't just be everything has to be this versus this. It always has to be an elimination round bracket thing. But people are constantly debating Anthem Part 1 versus Anthem Part 2. Only one can survive the round or whatever. And I don't get it. Like, why can't it just be both?
I mean, I guess, but like everyone always compares sequels. Like everyone, you want to know like what's your favorite Train Spotting movie. What's
well, it's obviously T2.
Yeah. What's your favorite Wreck-It Ralph? These are the conversations that people.
Right.
Which is your favorite Piranha remake? This nerd stuff.
Just impeccable taste in movies coming through again.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's gotten to the point where, and I kind of think that I'm irritated by the people who don't like Anthem. I'm going to show you one post about it in a second, but it's gotten to the point where your opinion about Anthem apparently plays into your ideal girlfriend. This was posted by Homeless Jedi 06 on Reddit, and it's an Imgur link again. And it's like the ideal girlfriend. So it's a meme with like some shitty internet drawing of a girl. And it's all the things that make her the ideal girlfriend. And again, I've said this so many times, but I don't think that who you date should just be based on like superficial pop culture decisions or whatever aesthetics.
No, you can marry someone who liked Rancid instead of Blink. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Or what if imagine you were married to you are married to an MXPX girl.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, so the ideal Blink-182 girlfriend, I like your stupid hair. I'll still like you when you're 23. Let's buy some candy and cigarettes. Want to make out to some Blink. OMG, I love Tom. You've been drinking. Let me take you home. All of these things we can live like Jack and Sally if we want. It's just fucking lyrics mostly.
My skin is crawling though. Like, I don't understand why
it's really
you're making
bad.
me look at this and then you're also saying all the words out loud.
If you break my heart, then I'll change your mind and I will do it again. I'd be lost without you, anon. Why does it say anon? Is this a QAnon thing?
I think it's, yeah. So you're the ideal Blink-182 girlfriend. Not only recites Blink lyrics to you, but also believes in the QAnon conspiracy.
Well, that's good. But anyways,
this was
the
on
ideal
Reddit.
Blink-182 girlfriend prefers, and this is why I do kind of want to date her actually, because she likes Anthem Part 1 more than Anthem Part 2. And I just feel like that's the correct pretentious take, even though I don't know if I agree, because I think these songs are perfectly great together. They work together so well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they need to be pitted against each other, but I wonder which I would choose Anthem Part 2. If I'm being perfectly honest.
I mean, Anthem Part 2 arguably has even cringier lyrics.
Yeah. I'm not doing this for, like, righteous reasons. It's just, like, the one...
Oh, no, I don't even mean in terms of, like... Outside of it being, like, a very sketchy thing to say, I feel like the lyrics of the song are really embarrassing. But Anthem Part 2 is even more embarrassing.
Yeah, I just think, like, teachers and parents, like, are really bad. And this song doesn't say it explicitly enough. Like, I mean, sure, it calls them slave drivers, which I guess is pretty negative. Yeah, I think they should just be able to compliment each other. But again, show me like a film or a book that's a sequel where people aren't, it's designed to be compared.
Yeah, you love that kind of shit, and I'm actually surprised that I haven't seen a big tweet spree of your top albums of the year or whatever.
I just tweeted I just made a Apple Music playlist and just tweeted that out, just to set my opinion sort of out because it's like a compulsion, and I'm fine now. I don't need to spree. No one fucking cares. Like, no one cares at all to begin with, except, like, in particular, like, I don't think even anybody who, like, bothers to follow me on Twitter is really like, well, what are his favorite albums? Like, I actually like reading people's year end lists.
I think people who wear baseball hats all love each other's year end lists because they want to see what the order. Where did Jeff Rosenstock go?
Right. I definitely got some baseball hat faves on that tweet. So that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So that's good. I'm glad all is well. But anyways, for some reason I did write down. There's like millions of threads comparing Anthem Part 1 and Anthem Part 2, and you know what? Listen to this. Deleted.
Wow!
Fuck that.
Wow, Josiah, so much self-control. Sorry.
There is one. This thread is about.
You're going to make me listen to like every country's anthem at the end of this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like that was all like a red herring.
Yeah. There's a lot of bullshit coming up. This thread is called "What do you think the worst song on Enema of the State is?" Now, I guess that's a slightly more interesting question, but I still think it's like. Who gives a shit? There's room for bad songs too. Like, who cares?
Yeah, this is definitely new Josiah talking. Have you never liked? Like, if you like, I guess what I don't understand is like I understand your sort of. I do understand your position on this, but isn't part of the fun of consuming culture and having an opinion about it, like to just voluntarily try to compare things that actually aren't particularly comparable?
Maybe.
And rank those things and like tell other people they're wrong. Like, to me, that's like extremely fun.
I don't think, I guess where I think the ranking should be, is this good or does it suck? Not like these numerical lists where they're like, this was slightly better than this, but this was also slightly worse than that. Like that sort of like extreme ranking, I think just becomes completely obsessive.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get that. Like, I don't think it needs to like define the way that you consume culture or like define the way that you talk about it. But I think like it's fun to engage in like what's the worst song, what's the best song, and then like decide you hate the person whose opinion is different than yours.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to decide how to hate people. But usually I've done that based on like what they're wearing before they talk, so it's fine. I don't need this. I've already made up my mind.
Right, okay, that's good. So you found a more efficient route, and that's the difference between you and I.
Yeah. Anyways, so what is the worst song on Enema of the State is this thread here on reddit.com.
Okay.
And so whatever, it's like some arguing, whatever. If you go down to the third section, this is written by Bonawa. And I'm insanely confused by this because it's so straight-faced, and I know it's hard to tell sarcasm on here, but this person has written that their least favorite song on Enema of the State would either be All the Smokings or Don't Leave Me. And somebody just replied All the Smokings. And then the original poster wrote, "Isn't that what he says?" Like, I've kind of been thinking about it all day because I'm sure that they are joking and just being very dry. But the fact that it was delivered this way, I've still been thinking, like, is there someone who thinks that the song is All the Smokings?
Isn't that what he says? The thing that fucks me up about this is that has -2 points as a comment. Like, that should literally be on the front page of Reddit.
Yeah, how do you do all that shit? What do you click here? Give award?
Yeah, I'm awarding this. Now, I think you might end up.
I'm not signed in on this computer.
Oh, okay. Wow. All the smokings. You fucking dummy. Is that what he said? Oh, my God.
But then what always happens with Reddit, so go to the next section here by VR606. Something always happens when you read something where you're, like, that was probably definitely a joke, right? Maybe not. If it was either like insanely ironic to the point of being beautiful or it was just a joke,
Yeah.
whatever.
Either way, it was hilarious, whatever the intention.
Yeah, I feel happy having read it. Now, the next section I feel like disgusting and I want to curl into a ball. So VR606 has said Anthem simply because I time bomb is why they don't like it. Now, Silent Echoes has written in defense of I time bomb.
What do you think that means? What is a silent echo, do you think?
I don't know, but let's more just save that energy because you're about to be very perplexed and confused by what Silent Echoes has said.
Okay.
So what I time bomb means according to Silent Echoes is they've written, that line has always mystified me. I have wondered, given the rise in the late 90s for things to be I something, as it sounded cool and futuristic, example, iMac, iBook, if it was saying that the youth generation, the I generation, is like a time bomb of hormones, angst, rebellion, etc. Probably overreading though.
And that has 4 points. Meanwhile, isn't that what he says has -2? Explain this to me.
And someone in the reply, even though they're saying, I don't think, the replier says, I doubt the band put quite that much thought into it, but they preface that by saying, I really love this interpretation.
What?
And then Silent Echoes replies, like, Silent Echoes does not let this go. They reply, Tom and Mark were both quite early adopters of the internet, and Blink had one of the best early band websites, so maybe.
Wow. Wow.
And then someone else, Alfex, says, and all of this conversation happened only 6 months ago, I'd like to add. So this is a fresh thought in the world. Anthem was before the iPod was a thing, says Alfex, and Silent Echoes, refusing to let this go, replies, iMac 1998, iBook 1999. It was a vogue thing in media and shit to have an I before something to make it seem techie and cool in late 90s. Did I say iPod in the examples on my comment?
What the fuck?
And then Alfix says, I didn't get that impression back then when I was and I was 12 when Enema dropped. That only took off with the iPod at the very least over here, but you do you. Silent Echoes, fair enough. I'm standing my ground that here in the UK it was a thing, although I agree grew massively after iPod. Either way, it was just a rough theory. I mean, finally backing down.
This is not a rough theory. Like, they consistently defended this take. What the fuck? Imagine hearing it like that. Like, imagine if that was the way that you interpreted the song. Like, you're hearing it with, like, the tiny I in front of Time Bomb. Like, that's when they listen to that song, that's what they see.
I mean, now I know what to Photoshop for this episode. I'm going to put Tom DeLonge's face
and then just
in a Steve Jobs turtleneck.
Yeah.
I time bomb. It's simple.
Holy fucking shit.
And this does play into the recent disgusting Tom DeLonge Instagram caption that I posted on our Twitter. I don't know if you saw it.
I did, yeah.
He was complaining that he had to wear a jacket that was too normie because it wasn't black. And the jacket to him said, I like to stand in lines and buy every new Apple product when it comes out. So if anything, Tom seems to resent Apple products. Silent Echoes. So I think your theory does not stand.
You know, but maybe that's because he was burned. Like, he thought, he's like, oh, I'm gonna sort of get out here. I'm gonna also adopt this sort of I noun, style, this template, and then like maybe he was told to cease and desist, and that's why subsequent lyrics have printed it as I, just normal I time bomb. And maybe he's bitter. Maybe he's seems like a guy that could hold a grudge.
Anyways, a lot of people in this started to say Anthem is their least favorite song, but with the Apple theory in mind, now I like it even more.
Now I think Anthem Part 1 is better than Anthem Part 2 because I'm never going to be able to hear the song again without imagining that person hearing the song and thinking of that. I'm going to be experiencing it on like 2 metatextual levels.
As if this episode wasn't already making me feel like a drooling invalid who had just been lobotomized, I've now read the phrase "all the smokings" and "I time bomb" in such a short span of time.
Oh no. This is bad, man. We gotta stop.
All right, I tried to do this segue a while ago, and then I got distracted by various things, but they have never really played it live.
Yeah, oh God, we're only here. Yeah.
But in 1999, they did play it live in Australia.
Oh! Yay!
Perth, Australia, 1999.
That was good.
Mitty Rendell. That's how I get into the zone of doing the Australian accent. Is I just change all the vowels in his name to I's. So it's like Mitty Rendell.
That's good. Mine sounds a little strained, but
yeah, yours sounds more British. But anyways, here's what's the song called? Anthem.
Yeah, okay. Song related. It's a new song.
so fucking good.
It sounds so good.
You know, I do want to say, like, something that, I mean, is only present in the recorded versions that is, like, so sick is the way that there's, like, the kind of two guitar parts that are both effectively rhythm parts. Like, it's not, there's the riff that you were talking about, but there's, like, a point at which, like, basically, like, the kind of, like, left and right rhythm guitar and the bass are all playing different roots, right? Like, again, this is not my strong suit, but there's, like, a sort of, like, he moves up an octave chord or something, but it never, never like a lead. It's just this, like, this sort of separation that you get, like, not consistently. So it's sort of like, you know, bass and both rhythm guitar tracks kind of playing an E, and then all of a sudden, like, one of the guitars is doing something else, and then the bass drops. And it, like, sounds so sick and so nuanced for a song that starts off with the phrase home show.
Well, also the in general, the song is very rudimentary. Like, the chord progressions, even for them, very simple.
Yeah.
And there's just, like, it kind of sounds by the numbers, but then they've just fussed over it so much. Like, the bass playing is so cool.
The bass playing is insane.
The drumming is like crazy, but sort of still when we weren't sick of Travis Barker's antics all the time. It was like, damn, this guy can play.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, the best incarnation of, like, over the top Travis Barker shit. Like, I think it totally works because otherwise the song is, like, super rudimentary. But
yeah, but then it's also the kind of thing where you just realize, like, Tom DeLonge can literally do whatever he wants. Like, he can just, like he's truly cracked the code of writing simple pop punk songs that are memorable, but, like, even the way that he recycles riffs is kind of cool, and he just sort of, he could go on forever, and maybe that is why he was like, I'm gonna save the world instead, because I've already figured out the secret to this.
Yeah, like
20 years ago.
I solved this problem, and now I'm going to move on to space and time travel. Why not?
Damn, is Enema of the State going to turn 20 this year?
Oh, holy shit! I guess, yeah.
Damn.
Well, that's it.
It's gonna be a lot of oral histories and shit that people are gonna
people are going to
DMing you,
sending you a lot of links for sure.
Can't wait. So another time that they didn't play it live, but they did kind of play it on TV, weirdly, for this, like, strange ESPN at the X Games promo from 1999. It's really good, especially because of what the host calls the band. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this.
What?
ESPN.
This looks
And
so
if you're
good.
wondering why I'm on the mic, dude, because I'm in the studio and I'm sort of in the band. I'm the token dude now. Right, these Stoken bro guys. Blink 183.
Welcome, Sal.
Yeah! We're hanging out here because you guys have got a new album, Enema of the State. First of all, why Enema of the State, right, Rich?
Why not eat all the world?
Yeah. Why not Coffee Enema? Oh, they've got a new album. It's called Enema of the State. It's a very hard name for Sal Mascala to find and relate, but I'll ask the questions anyway. Dum, dum. Dum, 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 dum. What kind of songs are on this album, Mark?
Really crappy songs. I have to fart.
Really, Mark? You write a lot of songs about girls. Tell me why.
We write songs about girls.
I don't know why they write songs about girls. Key change.
What? That's not funny anymore.
No, it's not. So, but it was fun for a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's you guys wanna play a song?
Yeah, we'll play a song.
All right, play a song, and then we're gonna do all sorts of stuff, and we're gonna see some other live performances from some other bands, cut to some more footage from the X dudes. You get the picture. Do your thing, guys. Blink 185.
We're Blink-182, and we're here on Exit Concert, and when we get back, we'll be playing some songs from Enema of the State.
So that was
Wow, what?
that was quite a clip.
How do they play like the entire them fucking around with the host and like 2 seconds of the song?
I don't know, but the song sounded so good.
Yeah. Yo, the song
I think
is good.
Tom's whine sounds really good on here.
Yeah, well, because it is like a whiny song, and I think that's even like what sort of takes some of the bite out of like how stupid and then like potentially quite offensive the lyrics are, is that it just delivered in such a like this child does not know any better. Like it's just the whining of a petulant suburban teenager delivered like, so perfectly.
That almost makes it like actually funnier and more ironic that he's with this childish whine, he thinks of his plight as that of American slavery.
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible, actually.
It sort of like subverts it, because it like, imagine if it was like a real like, imagine this like a serious rock song. Like imagine if Adam, like even a Blink serious rock song. Like imagine if like Stay Together for the Kids like had like multiple references to slavery. Like you'd be like, I don't know, guys.
Well, we haven't done that song yet. Maybe it does.
It's true. I can't really recall the lyrics. There could be some really fucked shit in there.
Look, the reason I picked this song this week is because, Sam, as you already know,
And he says
as our
it. He
listeners
says it
know,
here.
We're in Chris season.
Yeah.
And actually, I called it way too late because it's probably coming to an end. But we've accidentally done 2 in a row. Then we've intentionally done another 2. It's been full on Chris season, whether you like it or not.
Well, you have to
and
like
I
it.
said to you, it's called Chris Mess.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good joke.
I need to repeat.
Did you want me to
more
like laugh at
people.
it again? Because I was like, it is a good joke. But I'm just,
No, I just need that.
I'm not gonna like laugh at it again.
That sincere consolation.
yeah.
But I do. I like that. Like pop punk is full of white guys, obviously, but also full of like extreme white guy names. It's usually 3-letter names like Sam,
Yeah.
or Tom, or Tim. But then I guess Mark is not 3-letter, but Mark.
Lars. It's Lars, the
Mike,
plural.
Mike.
Lar, I guess,
There's always Mikes
Yeah.
and Marks.
Trey.
There's just Trey. Travis is a little long. Yuri is a little long. But again, it's like for the most part, it's like Mark, Tom. It's fucking like the Gospels of the Bible, basically. Luke, Matt,
Job, or Gob.
Matthew,
Yeah.
Matt. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, God. So I was thinking it makes sense that like without even trying, because we're talking about pop punk, we're just surrounded by dudes named Chris.
Yeah.
Because it's just like
early on in the pod, this was a joke because like when we first started having guests, and now we've kind of branched out and we've like made new friends, made some
and they
enemies.
are all friends. I do have friends. God damn it.
You do. But like early on, we were exclusively asking just like people that we like talk to kind of maybe more consistently, and every single person that I suggested was a Chris. Like it was like, hey, what about Chris Cresswell? Hey, what about Chris Farron? Oh, hey, Propaganda's coming to town. We could get Chris Hanna. Like it just kept going, and then when it became a joke, I was like, we should ask Chris number 2 from Anti-Flag, and he's down to do it at some point. So like we have Chris's in the chamber still. Like
there's fucking Chris's coming out of our assholes right now.
Yeah, we're just
there's so many goddamn
Chris's.
Chris's. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why, because Chris is a pretty like suburban white guy name, isn't it?
I mean, in my limited experience, yes.
Well, there's names that you like associate with. Do you have names? I'm not going to say any of them because I don't want to admit, but is there names where you're like, oh, everyone with this name is an asshole that I've met before?
Are you not saying it because it's Sam? Is that what's happening here?
No, not Sam, but there is a few names where I'm like, there's a lot of people I don't like with this name.
Yeah, of course.
What's your one?
I don't want to say it.
Is it just that?
Yeah. No. I would have to know at least 2 shitty Josiahs for that to be true.
Well, it's me and then like the toddlers of Christian Instagram influencers who have that name. So
yeah,
they are probably all shitty.
Yeah. But no, we don't have to say the name, but everyone has that name. Everyone take a second and think of that name.
Think of that name, and then in your heart, forgive them. And it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just Googled Chris Blink-182, and they mentioned Chris in this song.
Yeah.
They say, why is Chris...
Wait, is that how you ended up with this? Was it you literally Googled it?
That is literally why.
Funny.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if they ever say Chris in a song. And then they do in this song. That's how good this podcast is. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I was like, that's a terrible lyric. And it is the kind of thing that like is so childish and pathetic that for that to happen at a party, you'd only remember if it was like the most suburban home show song.
Chris is marked with lipstick. So,
did you see that last night? Chris was marked with lipstick.
Yeah, man, we stole it from the mall. Yeah, it's not.
Oh fuck! But anyways, they did have a friend named Chris that was with them a lot, and to be honest with you, since I was researching this episode while eating dinner between episodes, I didn't really look too deep into it, but this guy's name is Chris Georgian, which seems very fake.
Yeah, that's not a real last name. It's got 2 G's in there. Like, it's not.
He's also, even in like 2001, Blink-182's tour bus, this is from Blink182.com. I'm not going to play the audio. It's just like them giggling and making fun of Chris, but like Blink-182's tour bus is littered with Dean and DeLuca bags. Oh, they're so punk. Anyways, Chris passes out in this, and then someone draws a Hitler mustache on him
with a Sharpie.
And he has the Hitler mustache the next day.
I think of it as the Charlie Chaplin mustache. I think we gotta.
Right. Who famously played Adolf Hitler
right,
in one of his films.
That's true too.
So I don't know much about Chris Georgian, but someone in the comments here seems to think that he's the one who was marked with lipstick in Anthem.
Well, I mean, it says in the description, Chris is referenced in several Blink songs, which means, Josiah, there might be more Chris material in the Blink catalog that we're just not thinking of.
So we'll have to, if Chris comes up again, we'll have to find him and talk to him. I'm wondering if Chris was with Holly when she famously ruined Jerry Finn's life via H2O.
That's true. Well, they didn't. They never identified the second attacker in that horrid crime.
There are multiple Chris's, though, because even someone named Chris Holmes helped produce Neighborhoods and Dogs Eating Dogs before they kicked him to the curb for Feldy. So, I don't know. Basically, if you're into pop punk, you're probably going to meet people named Chris, and a lot of them while you're at it.
It's an important lesson from the pod to you.
Yeah.
And shout-outs to all of the Chris's in the nation. This is your time.
And I don't mean to say that Chris season is ending, because maybe next week there will be another person named Chris that we talk to.
I think sort of Chris season's always, haunting.
What if we did a full year of Chris's? And every single guest this year was named Chris.
I think that would be like a podcast with sort of two humorous purposes. Like, it's a every song in the Blink-182 catalog, and we only talk to people named Chris about it.
Maybe we'd finally get on Podmas.
Yeah, and then like we would have to like really do it like some sort of stunt shit where like if we get this much on Patreon, we will both legally change our names to Chris, and we'll be like Mario. We'll be like Chris.
Thank you for recognizing the Mario Brothers movie as canon.
Yeah, of course, man.
I fucking love that movie.
It's definitely like really good.
I agree. It is good.
In a time when like no one was making like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies hadn't happened yet and like ruined everything.
Who Nolan?
Yeah, holy shit, Chris Nolan. Those movies took the idea of Mario very seriously.
Yeah. They were kind of a gritty reboot of Mario.
I mean, like, Dennis Hopper plays Bowser.
Yeah.
And he's an actual
honestly,
dinosaur.
That movie is, like, seriously very good. It almost feels like a cyberpunk movie in a way.
Yeah, it's got, like, some kind of, like, Lawnmower Man vibes to it. Just in terms of, like, them traveling to the other world, like, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, my God.
It's
Super
good.
Mario
I want to
is
watch it
good.
again right now.
I watched it maybe 5 years ago, I want to say, and it was like
I watch
great.
it pretty regularly.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater when I was a kid, actually.
Yeah, totally.
It's good. Anyways, would you like to start pivoting somewhat towards covers, but not necessarily just do cover foreplay?
Right. I'm ready to start sort of like shooting knowing glances at covers. Maybe
before we get under covers.
Yes, that's good.
My head feels so hot right now. I think my brain is like
overeating, like your fan can't keep up.
I was also just leaning back in the chair. I forgot that I have to sit up towards the mic.
I sometimes do a pretty deep lean, and I think it's fine. No one listens to this podcast for like its audio fidelity, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. No one that we acknowledge. Anyways, Sam.
Yes, Josiah.
You work in the biz.
I mean, yeah.
Of show.
Yeah.
And so you must know all the hot new acts and the various
yeah, absolutely.
hype people and what the kids are into.
Yeah, of course. I get contact reports sent to me from all the.
Now, I work for a magazine where we just write Dave Grohl faved something on Instagram, and it's our top story. So it's easier for me to miss out on whatever's the hip thing. But there is a band that I refuse to listen to because I can just tell I will hate it. And they're called the 1975.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like people. So I've only heard this band because they performed on SNL once. And I don't quite have your SNL problem, but I do watch it. And I was like, this is inexplicably bad. And yet, a lot of, I think very smart people that maybe we both like this band. Like, this isn't like a Greta Van Fleet
I think they've
situation.
They've done the tour. Like, the last album was the one everyone hated. Mm-hmm. And then the new one is the one that everyone's like, ooh, actually, they're good. I'm cool. I'm a critic. I know things. They're good now.
Right. So it's the cool thing.
They're doing they're doing the Carly Rae Jepsen thing, or perhaps even what will happen to Greta Van Fleet on their next
album. I'd be so excited. All of a sudden. Yeah.
I'll do that one, but I'm not going to get into the 1975. Everyone keeps telling me the new one is good, and I don't want to hear. I don't give a shit. And I forgot that I also saw them on SNL. I was going to say that I've never heard them before, but I guess I have. But still.
But it was bad and forgettable, and I get the point. Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I do. So I'm willing to give their song "Girls" a listen, but only via this remashed version to make it in the style of Enema of the State era Blink-182.
And just so that I'm clear, how did this come up when searching for Anthem? Because this now just seems like.
I don't really know. I have no idea, but it's the right album, so whatever. Just don't be like this to me right now.
Sorry, I forgot that you're overheating. It's fine.
I just thought, oh, it's Anima related. We don't do this album very often because there's like only a couple songs left we're basically at the point where we need Tom to do Aliens.
Yeah,
Exist.
okay.
So this is the last time we're going to talk about Anima for a while, even though everyone's going to be sending me 20 anniversary links soon. But either way, Anima, 1975.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So the 1975 fucking rock?
Yeah, they're sick as
Like
hell.
that was a good song.
That was uploaded by, I forgot to say, new.wave, W-A-V. I will say this, I fucking loved it, and it was really good, and it sounded like somehow, even though it sounded like really cheesy major label pop punk, it still sounded a little bit like, had more edge than most modern pop punk bands that you hear. So that's kind of funny. But it also was making me think as it was playing out, like, everyone thinks that they can do what Tom did, and they can't.
Yeah.
Like the riffs in this and the pre-chorus part was like, it sounded kind of like All Time Low or Newfound Glory. It's when you try to do an impression of Tom, you can't do it because he's a true artiste.
Yeah, I mean, it's why all of the like full-on Blink worship bands suck. Like
Yeah.
you know, I mean, they really like obviously it's him and Mark. We're talking about Tom right now, and I do think like there's something so you know, it's the deceptively kind of simple approach to pop songwriting. And this song is this sort of like brute nothing of a chord progression with just like all of this like kind of weird, occasionally janky shit piled on top of it. Like lyrics that are like the tenses are all over the place and
and that guitar riff as well is like, and I think that's the problem with California is they're like, oh yeah, it's easy to do a Tom impression. Matt Skiba will be fine.
Yeah.
But no, Tom is a dumb genius, and no one realizes that. And you can't just pick up a Strat and do a fake Tom riff and think it's gonna work out because you need to have his like incredible dumb geniusness.
Yeah, it's true. I wish we were dumb, but unfortunately we're too smart. We're smart geniuses. And that's why
Yeah.
our bands are not as popular as Blink-182.
I'm actually a baby genius. So there's someone that we've played once before, but only once before, and I'm gonna play him again because he does really funny parodies of Blink-182 songs. And this is the user I like funny things on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So this is called Online Dating Anthem. It's a parody of Anthem by Blink-182, and I really actually like the art on this one. It says Online Dating Anthem in the top corner in a surprisingly tasteful way compared to Darius's other parodies. No, let's just give up on this bit because it's going to get
This
too annoying.
video was uploaded, this song was uploaded a month ago. This is 1 month
I
old.
think this was uploaded like since we've been blocked.
Yeah.
Right? That was,
How have we not been blocked on SoundCloud? Like he's got a.
Can you do that?
No, I don't think so. But
Can he block my IP address or
yeah,
something?
maybe.
But I love the art because the text is so classy. It says Online Dating Anthem, and then on the nurse's scrubs, I guess.
Yeah.
It says warning assumptions.
What?
That's so good. Anyways, let's hear what Darius did with this. I'm sure it's gonna be another fucking banger. That clicking is him, not me. Just so you know.
Now I don't wanna sign up for Magic on signed up for a free subscription. It doesn't make sense why you make assumptions about a you that you never met in public. But the truth is that I don't wanna be famous. You look like my friends around my friends don't look like they're 41. On and on. You never make up for all the shit that you have said. But no, I don't need an MRI. My back is not crooked in this picture.
I feel like he's in transition as an artist right now, and I feel like he's about to break through to a whole new sort of realm, because that was even more unhinged than usual.
Like, just...
And I feel like I also heard a dog run in the room and shake its collar around in there. I'm pretty sure.
Imagine being the dog. Like, imagine that dog's life.
The description of the song is the unfortunate but factual attitude of women on online dating sites. So I think it's about how women are making assumptions.
Oh.
And it sounded like they were making assumptions that his back was crooked.
That's a weird one. I mean, I hate unfortunate but factual things, so that's a difficult song for me. The thing that really fucks me up about this account is, like, literally he's uploading every day, which I'm impressed by given the quality of the work, and then in addition to sort of parroting like deep cut Blink songs, like there's evidently like some sort of American political parody that I don't get about some politician that he seems to be really obsessed with. It's called Tax Story, and it looks like it's like a Toy Story reference with this politician, a parody of Hemorrhage by Fuel. Like, he recorded that at the end of 2018. He was like, how am I going to make a funny parody that also gets across my political beliefs? I know. Like, don't get me wrong, Hemorrhage is a sick song and Fuel's a sick band, but, like, it's been a while.
It looks like the same politician was the subject of his BB Rexa parody of I'm a Mess called What a Mess. I think it's the same dude.
Yeah, that looks like the same guy. So, I mean...
Look, in the sense that he clearly has some beliefs that we don't love, Darius Burke, who I will add is now listed on here as Alexandra Resignation from Stockholm, Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
But these have been uploaded. I mean, look, it's Darius. We know this.
Yeah.
I think that in the sense that a lot of great artists are problematic and make you feel uncomfortable and make you ask moral questions, including the fact that we're talking about a song that makes light of slavery, really. You have to have these personal debates with yourself. Do I need to agree with everything they're saying? Am I approving of their morality if I enjoy their output?
Right.
And I'm just trying to argue that Darius is really pushing the boundaries of what comedy means. And I think that he is truly an interesting artist for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. And I mean, I think comedy is kind of always defined by people who, first sort of appear to be boundary pushing and then kind of establish new norms in comedy. We've talked, apparently you hated when we talked about this, but we talked about Mrs. Maisel, a great TV show about comedy.
No, I liked that one because you finished it,
I
right?
did finish it, yeah. But, the great depiction of Lenny Bruce there, and a great reminder of sort of the sacrifices that he made, in the face of obscenity laws.
Now you're starting a thing where the end result is Louis C.K. currently this week.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like we need to just keep.
You didn't want me to get there?
No, we don't have the time. Okay. I need to go to bed. Okay. Anyways, now it's time for actual covers.
Okay.
And I want to start by asking you, because I actually didn't look this up. I was hoping you could explain, because you're a very online tuber kind of guy. Who is Tyler Posey?
I don't know.
Okay, me neither. So I will quickly Google it.
He looks like
seems it's a name that I hear all the
he looks
time.
like a Viner
he's
or something. Is he Vine?
I thought he was too, but you know what? He's actually not. He's an actual actor. He's from the Teen Wolf TV show.
Yeah, but was he like originally a Vine? Because this is the thing where like someone's like, so and so's a filmmaker, and you look it up and you're like, they've just posted vlogs every day for 5 years. That's not a what the fuck?
I know. Like, doesn't he have? He has the name of an influencer,
And he looks
for
like
sure.
in this video, he's got like a surfboard in the background. He's got a half open kind of flannel shirt and a backwards hat. Like he looks like this man has been on Vine.
Well, he was in the movie Yoga Hosers, which I have a feeling you probably liked.
You said that I probably
Did
liked. I'm proud to say I have not seen Yoga Hosers. Okay. Sorry.
Are you in the credits?
Right? Yeah, I am. I funded it. I was like on the Kickstarter or whatever. I get like a thank you.
I thought Tyler Posey was like an influencer, but I think he's just a really sexy actor from Teen Wolf.
Yeah, he apparently was a guest DJ at Emo Night in L.A.
Oh my god. So he's really all over the place. So here he is covering Anthem by Blink-182 on something called Stage It, which I assume is a failed app from 2015 when this is uploaded.
Right.
What else? What else am I missing? I feel like there's another song that I should be playing that I wrote. I think I may have played them all. There's no way. I'm so sweaty. Okay, let me see. What else? What's going on? Thank you for singing it. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna play Anthem by Blink-182. Because that is a fun song. And I'm in the Anthem mood because I played the Anthem by Good Charlotte. And it goes like this. Show, Mom won't know. Run out the back door. He's passed out on the floor. Third time, been caught twice. Forgive our neighbor Bob. I think he humped the dog. But goodness come to those who wait, 'cause she made me.
I'm not really a fan of Tyler Posey, I've decided.
No, but like celebrities are just like us.
They're not just like us. No one would go on camera power clashing those two plaids the way he is. Did you see his pajama pants he's wearing with that shirt? It's absurd.
Yeah, dude, I think a lot of people would do that, and that's why they're just like us. Like, I get that you wouldn't, but that's like a pretty normal way to dress.
To be wearing those two plaids, people would be going blind around you if you were walking around wearing that. It's not allowed.
I don't know, man. Like, this is a very like collegiate way of double plaiding up.
No, the double plaid is ridiculous here. This is the one thing I refuse to back down on. Although it does look like he's performing in the same place where Blink-182 played that home show in that photo.
Oh my god, it is
earlier.
the same home vibe.
So anyways, I didn't really like that, but now I'm going to palate cleanse with the exact opposite. My notes for this just say British guy who has seen some shit. Because this is the user Rev Keith on SoundCloud. Just take a look at this fucking guy. He's amazing.
Wow. Okay, so this dude has like neck and face tattoos that 100% are from prison. And he's like got...
Does he have a plug in his, what's that area called?
Yeah, in his... below his lip, I don't know what the...
What's that called? Like the labret
Oh,
or something?
labret piercing, yeah.
Is that what
I
that
think
is?
so. So he's got like a whole plug in there. His ears look like they're maybe held together with a safety pin. Like, this guy's just...
Or I think he's like, he took out his plugs from his ears, so it's just like a
that
floppy
cat butt thing. No, but it looks like they broke at the bottom. Like, it looks like...
Yeah, it's true. But he also kind of looks like an old British record collector guy, but who also accidentally became a SoundCloud rapper.
yeah, totally.
And his name's Rev Keith. I love
he's
it.
sick.
Okay, this is what this guy sounds like.
Good things come to those who wait, cause she laid me. And mom and dad possessed the key, instant slavery. No need to explain the plan, need to even bother. But I'll pack my bags and swear I'll run, cause my friends from 21.
So this like Frank Turner ass voice just coming out of the hardest man to ever emerge from Bumbleberry Prison or whatever the famous jails are in England.
Wait, he's not even British. I just assumed he was. I thought he sounded British. He's from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
That makes it even weirder.
fuck. We had none of that scans. I love that was great though.
It was really good. It's funny how many like people there are in the world who are better than Ed Sheeran, and yet he's famous.
Yeah, well, that
doesn't make any
also
sense.
that made me think because like he's kind of doing it with a bit of an accent. Like that literally is what I wish that Frank Turner sounded like.
Yeah, I've never heard Frank Turner because I just have better instincts than to do that.
It's just like that, but like very.
People love a tough on the exterior guy who knows how to play the acoustic
It's
guitar.
true. Yeah, there's a thriving fest-based subculture of exactly that.
And that's why Dashboard didn't work for so many people, because it was like he was too soft looking while playing soft
Even though he
music.
had tattoos, I think his problem was like he looks as short as he is. Like he's literally pocket-sized. He's so cute and tiny.
I've gotten messages from people from the British nation who are surprised at how short you are.
What? Why are you talking about my height?
Because you're talking about someone else's
Yeah,
height.
but like that's fine. They're a public figure. Don't
So are
don't
you.
talk to the nation about my height.
I didn't bring it up. Someone said it to me.
It's fucked up, man.
You are pretty short,
I'm
though.
a perfectly average height.
I think I'm taller than I realize. Also, I always thought
you're a big
I've always
boy.
wanted to be short.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be
Oh,
like
fuck off.
a little like frail emo guy with jelly bracelets, like a tiny boy. But I can't be. I want to be like, I don't know, like a tiny Seisha fan.
Yeah, you'll never be Anthony Green size, that's for sure.
Anyways, I think your height is perfect.
Fuck off, man.
Where were we
Oh,
again?
who fucking knows? You played me the fake British Pittsburgh man.
Okay, this is an actual British guy because he's Scottish.
Yeah, right.
I found out.
Wait, he's
And his name is JJ Ross. And it sounds like this. It's one of those ones where he does a split screen and does harms with himself.
Show, mom won't know. Run out the back door. He's passed out on the floor. Third time, been caught twice. Forgive our neighbor Bob. I think he humped the dog. But good things come to those who wait, 'cause she laid me. And mom and dad possess the key. Instant slavery. No need to explain that plan, no need to even bother. I'll pack my bags, I swear I'll run. Wish my friends were 21. White lies, bloodshot eyes, breath of alcohol, stole it from the mall. House, Chris marked with lipstick.
I literally have no idea what I think of that.
I loved it, and I saw that he has like Mediafire links for all of his. He's done full album
shit.
covers, and my only concern is that my connection's been kind of wonky. So like, I didn't want to download it while you were playing it because I didn't want to fuck up the connection. But
Fair. But you're gonna hit
I'm
it up.
absolutely going to download his Dude Ranch and oh my god, he does like all of the albums. Anyway, it's great.
Does Mediafire still work? Oh wow,
Apparently.
that's a blast from the
Yeah,
past.
so can't wait to find out what his Dude Ranch album sounds like.
It's weird when people are so good at harmonizing that it sounds like auto-tune, even though it's not. Like that must be tough to live with.
Too
that.
talented. I will say, like, one of the curious things that he's done here is he's split screened But he's playing the keyboard, like he's elected for keyboard and acoustic guitar as the things that he's going to sort of show you that he's playing. But he's got a massive keyboard that he's resting very uncomfortably on his thighs and clearly is kind of struggling with consistently throughout the recording. And it's just like, buddy,
did he even play it there at all? Maybe he plays
time
it later.
to time. He sort of does some tinkling.
Oh yeah, he's doing a nice organ in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Scottish people can do whatever they want in my book. Fucking love
He's
them.
a ginge,
They're
too.
all corny as
This man
hell.
looks Scottish.
Yeah, he's insanely corny. He's wearing a American flag Coca-Cola t-shirt over a white long sleeve, and he has just various shit all over his bulletin board, probably from the time he took a ferry somewhere or whatever. He's so Scottish, but it's wonderful. It's so cute. Scottish people, God bless them.
Our favorite British people, the Scots.
I mean, absolutely. Are you kidding me? They're the best.
Yeah.
Now, this one, I feel like we've already been going on for way too long that I'm going to stop self-editing because I may as well just bring us to hell.
God damn it.
This is a lyric video, and I mostly wrote it down because the user's name is Mr. Sviggles. And it sounds like this.
I think he loved the dog, but good things come to those who wait, 'cause she laid me.
Oh, it's making me feel dizzy and nauseous.
Yeah, Mr. Sviggles? Cool, man, cool.
I just feel like people get these apps where it's it sounds too professional, but also not professional enough. So there's all this echo, but it's way too loud compared to the music, and everything about it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's also like a re-recording. Like it's one of those kind of like karaoke versions of something where you're unsettled, but you can't quite pinpoint it because it's just like the feel is all wrong.
Yeah,
but it's close enough. It's super strange.
I like it. I'm getting in a weird zone.
I know. I can
right
feel
now.
it happening, and I'm terrified.
Well, this next one is because I opened this one and I really, really like this because this is one of these bands that this is from 2014, but this band exists outside of time. In terms of just everything, like the style of glasses that they're wearing, everything about them is like you're watching a Lifetime movie where they just sort of made it look era-less. And the band is called The Band Salem with a period. So they're called The Band Salem.
Period.
Period.
We were talking about writing style, maybe hours ago in last week's episode.
Yeah.
And I used to sign my name in every email Sam with a dot because that's how emo I was. That was my thing.
Was it lowercase?
Yeah, all lowercase Sam dot.
Oh, hell yeah. But before we play this, I just want to say, so there's the lady with I want to say those are the Dolce & Gabbana glasses that you could get at Costco for a while. But they're just sort of generic glasses. The singer's wearing a pink scarf with the longer t-shirt under another t-shirt. They're just the most background actor outfits. And then the drummer, I think, is wearing an Ed Hardy t-shirt. It's incredible. And then the bass player is the best part of all because I think he's their dad, maybe.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think, significantly older and the only dude.
They also they intentionally wait until way later to pan over.
And
to
then
him.
the camera shows him no love.
Yeah, so let's hear what the band Salem sounds like. Salem. I love
The band Salem fucking rocks. That sounds like kind of just like the way they were playing it. It was like a tiny bit slower, and then like her voice, which is sick, is like it sounds like a 90s like indie movie, like climactic moment kind of soundtrack centerpiece. Like that would be in Empire Records 2.
Yeah, totally. It like the other thing I want to keep stressing is that this video is from 2015. Like it's so removed from like any version of any subculture or aesthetic. It's completely generic, and also that they would be covered. Because my initial thought was like, oh, they must be Christian. But first of all, they don't even have that level of self-awareness. And second of all, they're doing a song that is about getting laid and stuff. So I don't think they are. I think these are like the rare people that go to the music store who aren't from a church and also don't like go to shows. They're just like people who like only play Battle of the Bands.
Yeah. I definitely get that vibe. Also, like because I have the video up, but it's obviously off from what you're playing a little bit, and so it's funny because to me, because the drummer is playing off from what I'm hearing, I'm like, this drummer has no idea what they're doing because it looks so fucked. And then it's like, no, like she is nailing these like insanely complex drum parts too. Like this is a technically proficient band.
Yeah, like everyone's good at what they're doing, and yet it still just feels very like bizarre, like a Tim and Eric infomercial kind of feel. I actually, because we're just going to the bottom of the barrel, I got one of their singles up too because I'm obsessed with the band Salem now. This song's called "Smoking." The song's called "Smoke and Mirrors," and I love that even in 2015 when they released this, they used like the papyrus font for the lyrics. And I think there's just a photo of a homeless guy that they've used for the for the image. But this is what the band Salem's original music sounds like.
So that hints more at what is listed as the second influence on their Facebook page after Blink-182, which is Puddle of Mud.
Okay, yes, that makes a little bit more sense. I just hear this music and I see like, I basically can see early 2000s digital photograph on someone's Flickr that has very harsh flash that's blasting off of a black banner for a local music store that's on stage. Like they only play shows with tons of banners, I think.
Yeah, no, this is a banner band.
It's a big time banner band, but I love them. The band Salem rocks ass, and I love them. All right, we got a couple left here for you if you can bear
I figured, yeah.
We can't just, I know you want to, but we can't just listen to the band Salem all night.
Well, you know me so well, Josiah.
This one I just saved because it feels like we do everything so randomly on this podcast. We just kind of pick songs at random. Mm-hmm. But sometimes things happen that show me like, oh, the universe is looking out for us and taking care of us. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah, no.
It's like we have a purpose. And so I was like, I saw this one, and then I saw the username, and I was like, damn, it all makes sense. It's all happened in one night. This one night. What is the username?
Oh my God. This is Anthem guitar cover by YouTube user Easy Target 55.
It's all there. It's everything we've ever needed.
This is sort of shades of like, I think like why people like believe in like conspiracy theories or, having your fortune read or something where like if you're looking for it, you'll find this shit everywhere. So the idea of like, yo, Easy Target 55, this is Blink 155. And you're like, those are different numbers.
We did Easy Target earlier
But
also.
it still feels like it adds up, right?
Yeah, because we're delirious from ruining our brains and our lives with this.
Yeah, from overheating.
I don't remember even what this sounds like.
But
I think it's just a boy in his room.
with the same username as the song that we did a few hours ago.
Yeah. I mean, I like... I'm in wrong chord. I love it, actually. It's so sick.
Like, he sounds like Tom.
Yeah, like a little bit wimpier, but that makes it better. And I also just love this camera angle where you mostly just see a tasteful knee.
Yeah, like it took me a minute to figure out that he was singing because his mouth is not in the shot.
Mostly I just like that he validated our existence by being called that.
Yeah, no, so thank you very much for sort of tying it all together for us.
Okay, a couple more. We haven't been showing respect to this genre, so it's time to play for the first time in a while a Nightcore version of the song.
Oh, cool.
And this song works really well as a Nightcore song. So this is by Alt Nightcore, and that's spelled with a 0 at the end. What do you think people who listen to Nightcore's brains
I was
are
just
like?
going to say, like, I got to listen to more Nightcore, man. Like, it makes me feel good.
Me too. Me too, but also, like, do you die earlier if
Yeah,
you do
it's
that?
like everything's just moving
I'm not saying
faster.
that's a bad thing either. I'm just curious.
No,
Yeah.
that might be part of the point. Yeah, I just again, I think I'm into it. I'm so like I got to make that part of my routine. You know?
Yeah, I know. And also, I guess I didn't respect it, or I didn't play it on here for a while because for some reason this instinct kicked in where I was like, oh, well, they're just speeding it up. And for some reason that was a reason to not play it. And that's so
No,
stupid.
that's disrespectful,
like, what an idiot
man.
I am.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful, and it's also disrespectful to creation, really, because sometimes things are simple. That's the
And
whole
as a
point.
Christian, like you have to respect creation. That's like your A1 rule, right?
Exactly. Oh, well, there's 2 left, Sam.
Wow. Okay.
I found something really cool that I'm saving for last. Otherwise, I would have saved this for last. But first, we'll do this. It is your favorite treat whenever we do Enema of the State, like Cousins.
Oh
Dangerous,
my God,
or
this
whatever.
record's so fucking good.
Yeah, you're like into it.
I love it. Yeah.
And he sent us the tape
Yeah,
as well,
which
so that
looks
was
sick.
really
It's
nice.
like that, like it's like the real like 80s puke colored like tape, right? It's a green thing. I feel like I'm looking at it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks so good.
Hell yeah. And the Anthem one sounds particularly fucked up. So this is the Anthem one. If you want to check it out, go to suite309 suite.bandcamp.com. Here's the Anthem cover.
Just perfect, man.
It's really
yeah.
good. It reminds me of there was a Load Records band I think called Mind Flayer. It sounded a lot. No, that was the one with Brian Chippendale. There's another one. Oh, Neon Hunk. It reminds me of the Load Records band Neon Hunk. It sounded a lot like that. I remember like when I was 18 and trying to be really cool, I would just like sit in my room and listen to shit like that and pretended that I loved it. And I do love it, but like I don't love sitting around listening to an 80-minute CD of it that I bought.
Like I definitely don't like put that record on the regular, but I do remember, I think it was like Mutt maybe, right? Was the first time that we listened to it. And I have it, like I bought it on Bandcamp and I listen to it like from time to time. And I think it is so sick.
So that's not even the most like deconstructed version of the song that I found in my journey this evening. So the last one I'm going to share with you is, I'm so fascinated by it. The username is Japanese, and I searched it, and actually do yourself a favor and just like copy and paste the username and put it in Google and click translate. Or put it in Google and just add the word translate to it and search.
Yeah, okay. You know that I know how Google works, right? What?
It's yeah. And so I think this is a Japanese phrase for Mr. Bean, but I think it's also specifically some sort of Mr. Bean meme or something.
Yeah, so it's not, I mean, like literally this is Japanese for Mr. Bean. This is a cover by Mr. Bean.
But if you search the English version of the Japanese, like it says Misuta Bean or something, I don't know how to pronounce it, but then it comes up with this meme. This is like some serious fucking internet shit. But if you search Misuta Bean, then it shows this meme, if you know what I mean, and it's some sort of like rage comic character with Mr. Bean's face all fucked up. I don't know. The Japanese led me here, the Japanese translation. So that's interesting enough as it is, but then this tasteful cover with like a MS Paint Anthem writing, it sounds like this. I need to spend a lot more time with that one, but it kind of blows my mind.
That was fucking incredible.
It's so
I love
good.
Mr. Bean.
Me too. I think this cover and the last one makes me realize that it allows you to access more difficult music if you know the source material.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's like a cool sort of gateway into this world, because if it was just a song we didn't know, then we might, or someone who's not accustomed to that kind of music might just write it off. But it's kind of an interesting way into
It's fine.
world.
You can say you're talking about me. Like, I don't sit around, even like La Cousin Dangereuse, like I don't listen to that music otherwise. But I think it actually it's the same as like why the song is good, right? Like the fact is that like Tom is very good at writing these sort of deceptively simple pop songs, and they sort of pile other things on top of it. But you start from a foundation that is like strong and like recognizable to you as just like a pop music consumer, and then you can start kind of fucking with that. And so I think like what's great about this is like not to like belittle experimental music, and I actually really do mean this, but like writing a pop song is incredibly fucking hard. Like writing, and I've talked about this before with this. I feel like this happens less and less now that like everyone thinks that every pop musician is a genius, and we've swung like way too hard in the opposite direction. But there used to be this thing where like bands would be like, we decided to make a pop record, and they're like, we can't just decide like. Sure, but like, if you
the Darcys that did that, I remember that was like a super corny press release like 2 years ago. They're like, we've been an art rock band. This I'm talking about only like 10 Canadians know who this is, but they're like a CanCon band called the Darcys. But they're like, we've been an art rock band for 10 years, and now we're gonna do our pop record.
Yeah, and they like, and that's what they did. And bless them, they are friends, and I wish them well with it. But like. It is, but it's a common thing. They are far from the only band to have attempted to kind of execute that move, and it's like it's not easy. Like you can't just like not everyone could be like Tegan and Sarah, right? Like where it's like that worked. Like that's an example of like on some level I think the exception that proves the rule. And even for them, like they're not massive. Like they toured with Katy Perry, but like Closer sort of didn't necessarily put them in that echelon. Like it's not a simple task. And so to take what is at its core like just a really, really good pop song and then do other more deconstructed sort of musical shit to it is like really fascinating and otherwise not something that you get out of music like that because it's just not part of the composition really.
Yeah, or it's just I mean, even I think it's more like this is the entry level version of it, and then this will help you develop a taste for it, and then you're like, oh, now I can parse the different parts, even when it's not a pop song. I recognize I can see the value in this, like spastic drumming or whatever. But the other thing that stresses me out when I stumble upon something like this is this only has 29 plays, and I am obsessed with it, and it's from a year ago, and it stresses me out how like. Just using this project as an anchor, I keep finding things that no one's heard of on SoundCloud that I think are really cool and interesting. And it just really stresses me out how much actual good stuff there is out there that no one knows about. Yeah,
that's fucked up to think about. I feel that way a lot. That's what, like, that gives me, I'm in a spiral now all night and like some deep existential shit just because I'm like, there's not enough time to listen to and watch and read everything that I desperately need to consume before I die. So thanks, Josiah. We'll be spiraling together.
We are. That's what this is all about. So I feel like we kind of did final thoughts, but I think this song's really good.
Yeah, dude, same.
It is currently Chris season, which I haven't told our guest about yet, but welcome to the podcast, Chris Locke.
Hey, thanks for having me on Blink 155.
That's the name. Yeah, thank you for plugging my own podcast, which I forgot to do right now.
What's up? You're listening to Blink 155. Yeah, I'm on it.
Something's been. So this is. I got to explain this to you. Something's been happening. This is the second time this has happened, but it happens accidentally, and then we sort of engage it and go for it. Because I asked you to do the podcast a while ago, and then it sort of fizzled out. But then I needed you this week, and it's because you are now the fourth guest in a row named Chris that's been on the show.
That's awesome. What's up, other Chris's?
So
let's stick together, am I right?
Yeah, right. This is the second time that this has happened where we've had multiple Chris's in a row. There's seemingly an endless supply of Chris's that we can talk to about the pop punk band Blink-182. And I was curious, as a Chris, why do you think there are so many Chris's in our orbit?
Yeah, Chris is a very 90s pop punk, SoCal punk name because I don't know, it's just because... Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just a lot of white people procreating like crazy in the late 70s, early 80s. And I don't know, Chris, I don't know where it comes from. It's just like, Chris to me is like, you know, a button-down polo shirt and is like, yeah, man, let's skate. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, but it's not like some of the other one-syllable punk names like Tim or Sid. They have sort of have like an aggression to them, but Chris is like the chill one of the skate gang.
Yeah, Chris has good bangs and they hang down, like they hang over his eyes, and he's constantly like flipping them back, and like the girls really like that, you know, and he's kind of got maybe like preppier roots. So he's got like one foot in the punk scene and one foot nestled safely in like a nice suburban house, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, he has
like Tim and what's the other one?
Sid was the other one I was thinking
Tim
of.
and Sid like go to Chris's house to use the half pipe that his dad built with him. But they shred it more than like Chris does, sort of, you know?
Yeah, Chris has the safety net, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Chris's dad is like, wear your helmet, Chris. And Chris is like, okay. But then then Tim and Sid are like, do you want us to wear helmets, sir? And he's like, nah.
So, since it is Chris season, did you ever like? At what point did you decide you're going to go with Chris? I assume is your name Christopher, or is it Christoph?
My family still calls me Christopher, but I don't actually remember the switch. I think like kids just started calling me Chris like early on in school, and like I didn't look back. Christopher is too clunky. It sounds like soup is barfing out of your mouth, you know? Like
Christopher Locke is very pretentious.
It's chunky. Yeah, I know.
That's
the last thing I want to do is be pretentious. Hey, I'm just like one of you guys.
Well, Chris does. I mean, the Chris we're describing who has the half pipe in his backyard, he doesn't want to give off that he's a Christopher. He wants to be down to earth with the other one-syllable boys.
He's embarrassed when his he's embarrassed when his hot mom comes out and is like, "Do you guys want Triscuits with melted cheese on them?" You know?
Oh hell yeah.
They all really do, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, my mom's nice, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, God. Amazing.
I actually want those now.
Me too. In my family, we used to call that cheese bombs, the Triscuits with melted cheddar.
Did you add anything else to it?
No, we were just like straight up, just those two ingredients.
Because it's funny, right? Because on Triscuit boxes, they're always like, also put an olive on it. But who fucking hangs out with olives in their house?
Yeah, no kidding. Man, I agree. I
don't olives.
Fuck olives.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, happy to see them every now and then, but do you buy them at the store ready to go on a cracker? I've
like hung out with people who like very like hip vegan type people who will just like sit on the couch and eat olives, which is kind of insane to me because I would rather just eat the entire box of Triscuits.
Yeah.
Or even just the raw cheddar.
Still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God. But they look sick, right? They're sick and they have they're on meds and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
You know it.
Okay, listen. When you were Chris, when you made the switch, you don't remember when it happened, but when it just organically happened, basically the world decided you're not a Christopher. You're a Chris. What was your deal?
Yeah.
Did you have bangs? Did you skateboard? What was your deal back then?
Yeah, I actually did. I had to cuz when I was really young, I think I'm older than you, but yeah, so when I was really young, it was
I'm 16 years old, by the way.
Pardon?
I'm 16, so.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 17. That's what I mean. So
okay, cool.
I've seen some shit. I've had sex. You'll see. It's good. But yeah, no, like when I was really like getting into skating, it was just that crossover from late 80s, early 90s when like those old school fishtail decks were turning into new school decks.
Right.
Do you know what you don't even know what I'm talking about?
No, I do.
Yeah, and so like so I was skating when like Blink-182 actually the first album came out. I don't know if you know that one. On Blink-155. I don't know if you know Blink-182 that well. That Shower Cat came out when I was still like a skater.
Well, so were you aware? Was this in Ontario?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Etobicoke, suburb of Toronto.
So were you like aware of Blank at that point? And I guess if you had heard,
Yeah, well, I loved everything. Me and some friends, I kind of like got out of skating when we started just smoking weed all the time. But me and my friends loved anything from like Epitaph or Fat Records and stuff like that.
hell yeah.
And so this is way back in the day. This is like, 93, 94 or something. We were like teens. And then so we actually got like VHS cassettes, I think, maybe DVDs. But like, because everything was so still DIY bootleg back then.
Right.
And so we got this video of like all these different like punk videos that you wouldn't see on like TV or anything. And that's how I first heard about Blink-182. The song M&M's had a really awesome video.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we've already done that episode. There's actually, I'll send you a link after, but there's an alternate video where his ex-girlfriend shoots him, but it was never released because it's too gory.
No, but here's the thing you don't know. That's the video we all knew.
Oh, shit.
So the one where they don't get shot and get blood all over the place, I saw that recently when I was going through memory lane, and I was literally like, what the fuck is this? Because I was trying to show someone like, this video is actually cool because they actually get killed in the end.
Right.
And then it didn't happen. So I never knew that. We had the one where they got like killed.
So you had some like actual true bootleg shit, because I don't think that was ever officially released.
I don't know. It probably, like, to be honest, I bet you it was like, yeah, maybe it was released underground by the band, because they definitely were not known then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were like, other bands we were listening to at the time were bands called like Jughead's Revenge
Yeah.
and 88 Fingers Louie and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Man,
Blink-182
totally.
was like in that category.
That's so sick.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
You're like,
So-
because you are a little bit older, but you're like when I'd go to my friend's house and their cool other older brother would be like watching a snowboarding video, and that would be the kind of cool music they
your
listen
older
to.
brother.
Yeah, you're the cool older brother.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't want us to grow up together, though, because I was so fucked. Sorry, man. No. Yeah, so
So tell me what else was on your like bootleg
that's
VHS
super memory
tapes?
lane for me, but yeah, there you go.
Who else was on your bootleg VHS?
Probably the Vandals. I really liked the Vandals. I was in a punk cover band with some friends, and we played like NoFX covers, and Guttermouth was a band I really liked. And then when I got older, my friend told me they were like hardcore right-wing conservative, and then I went back and like listened to the lyrics. I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of xenophobic and shit, and like,
Oh my god.
so. But then I realized, like, the older I got, like SoCal, like a lot of those guys are kind of like that, you know?
Yeah, they're not necessarily.
It's not like LA.
No, it's weird. The politics.
I think the Vandals guys are kind of right wing too.
Well, I was looking up to confirm, but did you know that Scott Aukerman has like played on some Vandals releases?
No. The comedian?
Yeah, apparently. I think he's like friends with them or something. He has some
Well,
tie to the Vandals.
There is a guy in the Vandals, I think, with the last name Aukerman.
Yeah, I think they literally might be related.
That's crazy. I saw, yeah. So like, yeah, me and my friend would like go to every punk show that came to Toronto for a few years, and the Vandals came when they were sort of like coming back, you know, like it was sort of earlier 90s, like 90,
Right.
I don't know, 3 or something. They hadn't fully blown back up again. And that was a really good concert for me, because we were like smoking and drinking, sitting on this bar, and not a lot of people were there, but everybody else that was there for the most part were the hardcore old school Toronto punks, like the guys that had like, you know, deadbolt locks hanging from their nose and shit.
Yeah.
And they were just beating the shit out of each other in the, you know, middle of the room. And me and my buddy sat there drinking and watching the show. And because like Vandals, I guess, originally started in the early 80s, so they had old school fans.
Right.
That was probably the punkest show I was at. Like that wasn't like sort of skate punky, like kind of safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Damn,
Yeah.
it's hard to imagine the event because the Vandals now looking back seem so jokey.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they were jokey at that time, but it hadn't fully transitioned into like the live fast diarrhea and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what got us into them, But then when we were there, we were like, oh yeah, right. We were just these like dumb like skate punks with like baggy pants on and shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen you live before because you are a comedian. I forgot to say that in my terrible intro. But
oh yeah, that's why I'm so funny, everyone.
yeah, that's
I do this for a living. Yeah,
you do,
making money.
But I have seen you in person before, and you weren't wearing like an ill-fitting Volcom shirt with cargo shorts. So I assume at some point you got out of skate punk. So how did you become too cool for it at some point?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
No, I don't know. Well, you know what? No, it's like, yeah, it's clearly of a time, and I know that this is what your podcast is all about, so I don't want to. I want to be like sensitive, but
I'm not
it
gonna
also
get.
was like in high school, like at that time, like I was dating this girl, like around 18 or 19 years old, and like that was our ages and at the time, and I had already like been a mega punk fan and stuff for like quite a long time, but then her and I kept hanging out and driving around all summer, and we picked up these sort of like old school hip hop CDs and kept playing them in the van, and that all of a sudden I was just like, I dove way back hardcore into hip hop, and then I was just hip hop for about like 5 years. Yeah. And then I don't know. And now when I still go back and listen to punk, but it's not the skate punk era. It's like the old school punk that, from
Right.
the original days.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that sounds about right.
I always really liked all that stuff. It got, yeah, I was a bit older. So when pop punk was really big, I was a bit older. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Because when you listen to pop punk, like, be honest, I know this is what your podcast is about. When you listen to it, it sounds like kids jumping up and down at a pizza party.
Absolutely. No, like this podcast is like,
It doesn't sound like kids like putting their arm around their girl under the moonlight.
My music taste is like a Ouroboros of irony, and I've gone through the ringer so many fucking times that I like pop punk again, but I've been through every phase imaginable. We've bonded before a little bit over our love of Lightning Bolt. I've listened to all kinds of shit, so I've been too cool for Blink-182 about 4 times in my life, and now I'm just kind of giving up and admitting that I like them.
A really good pop punk band that's really good right now that everybody should check out, and is Pop.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
To me, they're like they do a good balance of like capturing that old school kind of anthemic pop punk vibe, but also still having like some good oomph to them, where it's not like it doesn't sound like you're being driven to soccer in the back of a minivan.
Oh, I love that feel. I love because I mean, even in this song, we've talked about it already. This is at the end of the episode, but in this song that we talked about this week, Anthem, it's like he's basically talking about how he has to do chores, but he's comparing it to slavery. I mean, it's like so absurd. Tom DeLonge has clearly never had a real problem in his life at this point, but he's writing this like angsty punk song.
Is he the alien guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. There you go. Like, it just like those lyrics just inform like what happens when you have so many years of like incredibly entitled white privilege. You just become some bizarre alien freak. You're like, damn it, I have to do chores. There's got to be something bigger out there. And then you just look at the stars and you're like, there is.
I think you've just perfectly summarize his entire life in one sentence.
But in that song too that you guys are talking about, they have a lyric about a guy named Chris with lipstick on his face. I like that.
Well, you know what? You've cracked the code. That is why we picked that song this week, because it's Chris season.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that guy named Chris with lipstick on him?
I don't really. I heard the song twice, and I think he's doing well. I don't know. It seems like they're jealous of him, right?
I mean, even just someone getting lipstick on them at a party, it makes me think the party is so vanilla that you would even remember that factoid.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, can you imagine like a cool fucking urban hardcore? Like, do you have lipstick on your face? I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But at this party, the Blink-182 suburban like high school party, everyone would be talking about that.
Exactly. So, okay, you saw the Eminem's bootleg video. Then what happened as you kind of kept skating, kept being into Jughead's Revenge and 88 Fingers Louie? Did you? You're still into them now. I'm pretty sure you run the subreddit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever. You got
out. Good riddance. I could say fucking weird name. Lagwagon.
Hell yeah.
I can say weird names forever.
We all know there's a whole army of nerds who still love skate punk who know all this shit.
Well, there's
Craig's
a really
brother.
good, you've probably read it. There's a really good article that just came out recently, and I totally was all about it. It was actually a really good, thorough article. I forget who released it, but it's about like what happened to this sound, because it was literally the biggest sound for the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's just straight up gone. Like, I don't even think Pup is in that genre per se, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause it doesn't have that like whiny core, like, you know, like it doesn't have that sort of like, anyways, it was really good though. It started from the impetus, which was like, you know, early 80s Bad Religion, going all the way into like No Effects and stuff. It was like a really thorough article. I'll try and find it.
Yeah, I'd like to read that. I don't think I did read it, but I was just trying to ask, like, as you sort of went on your own musical journey, what was your opinion of Blink-182? Like, you must have fucking hated them if you were into like the real punk shit.
Yes.
And this is a safe space. We hate on Blink-182 every week, so please lay it on me.
My soft spot for Blink-182 is that Eminem's video. That was the best, and even before you called me now, I gave it a re-listen. And I knew every beat of it. Like, I love that song. Mm-hmm. But I think, like, yeah, a couple albums later when they started, or like, you know, they started getting those, like, sort of like, I guess this is growing up, you know, that kind of stuff. Sorry, guys. At that point, I was kind of like a bit older, and I was like, yes, it is time to grow up. Even though I'm still like a dumb idiot. I didn't grow up, but I don't know. Yeah, this is like, it just reminded me of like, I don't know, maybe like, yeah, eating cheesies while your dad's driving you somewhere. I don't know.
It's really good. Well, yeah, because also that all the
you gotta admit it, right? Come on.
Of course, like,
you know what I'm talking about. Because what happens is like the older you get, the more self-conscious you are about like, man, I gotta. Okay, you want to hear? I've shared this story before on another podcast, but this is what it is. It's about getting yeah, sorry, man. I cheated on you already. No, like it's about being self-conscious about getting with girls. That's what the main thing is. Because another band I was like super into in high school was this Primus. Okay. Okay. I can't even go back and listen to it ironically. Anyways, but at the time I was like 15 or something, and they had this 15 or 16. They had this album called Pork Soda. Okay. My Name is Mud was like a huge hit. Anyways, I like had this mega crush on this girl, Alexandra. Like, she was the best, hottest girl, long blonde hair, loved her. So I got her home, like, to my place one time. She wanted to come over. We're hanging out, having laughs, having a good time. My parents aren't home. She comes up to my room. I close the door of my room even. We're in there having fun. Guess what I fucking put on my stereo? My Name is Mud by Primus. Okay? Nothing happened. Nothing. Not even like a fucking finger touching my shoulder. So like you learn these lessons at that age, you know? Right. And then you're like, I don't know. I gotta be cool as fuck or I'm screwed.
Right. But
and you know, to me, like the whiny part of Blink-182 like wouldn't have fit at that time.
For sure. But what about like now that you're older and you don't, or maybe you still do give a fuck, but I mean, as I get older, I care less and less about what is perceived as cool.
I've been married for 5 years, and I have 2 kids with my wife, and I just played this in front of my wife, and she was like, I'm never having sex with you. So I can't even have more kids.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, maybe that's good.
No, yeah, Blink-182 saved my life. Saved my pocketbook, I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God. You know, I think I've tried to get people on who I perceive as being like true punks before, and then they still never admit that they don't like Blink-182. So I think you've been quite brave in this admission.
But I'm 100% about my soft spot for M&M's. That was such a big song and a big video, and my buddies and I watch it all the time.
It really is. That song is especially like the most classic skate punk sounding song that they've done.
Yeah, and yeah. You're right. Like the Blink-182 that got the bigger fans, and like I 100% like I get. If I was 2 years younger, it would have been a different story. You know what I mean? It's just the way it goes. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't the same. It was like a different kind of thing, you know. But that song, like M&M's, I can play that, and if my wife is like, "I'm never having sex with you again," I'm like, "Doesn't matter. I got to hear the song." You know what I mean? Like. That one I can stand by.
You'll just jack off in your room until then. Isn't that the lyrics?
yeah. There's only so many ways I can make love with my hand.
Right, yeah, that's the one. I'm thinking of a different song with jacking
stressed.
off.
It's not. He doesn't actually like doing it. I think he's stressed. But then, his girlfriend blows him away anyways.
I was thinking of a different song. They have a lot of jacking off references.
Of course they do. That's what I'm talking about. All of you guys listening to this right now, cool it. You give your dick a break.
Well, that's an interesting question about M&M's. Like, how many ways can you make love with your hand?
Exactly. It's Tom DeLonge, right? He's fucking thinking about like an alien with 8 hands or something.
I think that's Mark singing that one. He's kind of the norm. History has proven him to be the normie, so he definitely only knows one way. Yeah,
but a lot of kids like imitate him, like his look, and then you get those weird like Miami kids that have like the super dark tans and white teeth and like blonde sticky. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those guys that are like you can put your finger on their face and like their tan comes off. Like, I think he kind of created that.
I think you might be right, and definitely like the big Dickies shorts they took them to the logical conclusion where everyone's been wearing skinny jeans ever since because they're like, we can't beat the bigness of their Dickies shorts.
Yeah. That was weird. It is really weird. It's like when you look back at it now, because like in the middle of that, you didn't notice. But when you look back at those pics now and stuff like that, you're like, oh my God, we were genuinely dressing like little babies in big clothes. Like you dressed like you didn't want to wear... Like, you know, like you were a kid wearing older clothes. It was so weird.
That's fucked. I mean, I think that's going to happen to all of us, like to everyone now in 10 years as well. We'll be like, damn, I was dressing. You can't know what it is while you're still in it, though. What's going to be the thing that everyone's like, fuck, why did we dress like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll probably just be like, yeah, everything's kind of chilled out right now. I don't know. I guess people will be like, maybe the track pants that like get all tight by your ankles. Yeah,
like the Aladdin pants or whatever.
Yeah, that'll be bad. But we're all going to be dead in 10 years anyway.
I fucking hope so.
Me too. I'm sick of this shit.
All right, well...
My kids are learning how to fly a spaceship right now, speaking of Tom DeLonge.
Oh, shit.
So he'll probably see them through his binoculars right before he dies.
He's probably watching them right now. You probably got a Google alert that one of your smart devices heard you say that, and now he's looking in on your home.
I wouldn't put it past my smartphone. Yeah, no, I think that like he's probably spying on them building their spaceship, going like, "You're doing it wrong." Like he probably knows how to do it.
You really got to dig. I say this to everyone who asks, but you got to dig deeper into Tom DeLonge's alien research. He did this like hour-long meet the press address sort of thing that is just absolutely insane.
I heard about it, but I didn't follow through and check it out. Yeah.
I think I'm a believer. I think Tom DeLonge is going to save the world, to be honest.
That'd be cool. You know what? Sometimes geniuses don't make sense in the generation they're in, but we all, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe maybe people who wear baggy Dickies shorts are gonna be the only ones who survive.
I mean, if you can write the perfect like pop punk song at the age of like 14 or whatever, like where does your genius mind go from there? You know, it's gonna go crazy.
Absolutely. I literally said that an hour ago in this fucking 3-hour episode. I said that. Okay, listen. I think this might be the end of Chris season. I was thinking about having a Chris on every week of 2019, but I don't know. I don't want to curse it. I mean,
that's hard.
If we naturally get more Chris's, I will embrace it with open arms, but I don't want to force the Chris's.
Yeah.
But anyways, before you go, I wanted to, do a plug on your behalf and then let you plug anything else. But we got to get Jim Carrey to draw your fucking portrait.
Yes. You guys have a decent amount of followers on Twitter. And I really like that pinned video of the army guys playing.
All the small things. Thank you.
Let's get going. I think people don't care, though, because they're like not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for some weirdo. But like, do it for the weirdo.
You're not a weirdo anymore. You're part of the Blink-155 nation now, whether you like it or not.
Sick.
But come on, you're like a Canadian comedian guy. Don't you have a direct line to JC?
It's crazy. He's not connected to nothing. You know that.
I do.
He's floating around.
I'd get him on the pod if I could.
That'd be awesome.
I tried. I haven't said this on mic yet, but I tried to get Malcolm Gladwell on the podcast because my uncle is like his religious advisor or something. So I was like, "Oh, ask Malcolm Gladwell to do my Blink-182 podcast."
He'd be awesome because he's so good at like weird connectors. He'd be like, actually, Blink-182, if they weren't around, we'd never wear fedora hats. You'd be like, that's not that interesting. I hope you get him on. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I really hope so too. But anyways, so Jim Carrey, we're trying to get Jim Carrey to paint your portrait. He keeps doing these fucking, look, we get it. Trump is bad. You've made your point. Now draw Chris Locke.
Exactly. Take a break. Lighten up. Hashtag Jim Paint Chris. My pinned tweet is the photograph that I want him to paint, but he can paint whatever he wants. Even if he paints me like barfing out shit with demon horns on, looking like how he paints like fucking, I don't know, Mitt Romney or something. I don't care. I would love that. Even painting, I would be like, this is the best.
Sick. Okay, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna use our powers. We're working on various things right now, including also trying to get Smash Mouth on the pod. They follow me back on Twitter, but they continually reject my advances. But they won't unfollow me, but they just keep replying and saying no. But we're gonna get.
You'll get them. I heard they play shows for like $50 now.
Maybe I'll have to pay them $50.
That's the thing. Yeah.
But okay, before you go, is there anything else we need to know?
I was never in Smash Mouth. If anyone's listening and they have a Smash Mouth podcast, I'm not fucking going on that. I can't do that. Every time I heard Walking on the Sun, I was just like, I'm too logical. I'm like, that'd just be hot. It would melt my Vans, dude. It would melt my etnies, is what I said.
Hell yeah. Okay, what else we got? What do you want to plug here, buddy?
At Chris Locke Fun is my Twitter. I'm addicted to it. It sucks. I want to kill myself, and I write stupid jokes on it all the time. But
that's my life too. But I also am not a comedian. I definitely shouldn't be doing it, but I can't stop.
Yeah.
At least you have a purpose.
Yeah, sort of. That's what I say. I don't know. It's weird. But if you're in Calgary, I'll be there at the end of February at the Laugh Shop. And that's really fun all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I announce my shows on Twitter and stuff. I don't know. I think I have a website, but I don't update it. I'm sorry.
You got a podcast too, though.
Yeah, I have a podcast called Utopia to Me. I'm not doing it right now, but it's got so many backlog of episodes with a lot of great comedians and funny, crazy stuff on it. So yeah, check that out. Utopia.
And you released an album recently. Was that last year, 2 years ago?
I've got 2 albums out. Yeah, The World is Embarrassing and Demons Are Eating My Head. They're on like Spotify and iTunes and Amazon and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for making Chris season continue for another week. I hope that you find peace in your heart with Blink-182 one day. I'll be praying for you.
They're not that bad, you know.